Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Let's go!
You must have been busy, but The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington, we're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Drake May, MVP candidate, gets to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, your MVP. Caleb Williams, one of the best, far comebacks, one to set the, tied for the record with that, most comebacks in the season. All these great things, all these great guys. At the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is still the guy. When I think of just games on the line, need a win, really? Who's going to win this guy? Yeah. Josh Allen is right there, but I have to be fair to the point that he just hasn't been able to get it done, right? And that's what we go. And that's what we quarterbacks and star players in the NBA. Those are the two guys that we judge you on. Pitchers, your team can stink, Skeens, and you still be you're the best. You can never win a ring in baseball and still be the best. That's just a different sport. If you are a quarterback, right or wrong, it's on you. Who is everybody tired of right now? Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, yeah, your MVPs and you're all that. Got to get over the hump. Matthew Stafford, to his credit, finally got over the hump. Fell short this year and left a bad taste in their mouth because I think they feel that Seahawk ring was supposed to be theirs. But with that being said, if you wanted to say Matthew Stafford because he's the current reigning MVP, I'm not mad at that. Joe Burrow is going to be interesting this year to see coming back. He's been injured the last couple of years, be beat up. The team defensively, they've made some moves. So it'll be interesting to see. I got to wait and see. And you look at Patrick Mahomes, 24 touchdowns, I believe it was 11 interceptions. Not a great year on those numbers. We could have seen the rest of the year. We would have seen what those total numbers be. I just think at this current stage.
To get the rest of what The Odd Couple said, podcast it by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
So here it is. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. I don't know about you, because there's been some reports that he's going to get the opportunity. There's been some others that have come out, conflicting reports about, Sanders has closed the gap and Shadour's got an opportunity to win the job. I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a good year. I really do. I think he's finally healthy.
It's possible. I don't know how likely that is. Does he make it to the regular season as the starter? I don't know. And it's interesting because I think it would have taken there being a guy like Shedeur Sanders to still and have so much popularity with the fan base that they want to see Shedeur Sanders play.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe, Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes I like to talk.
It's Stu Gotts and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific. Right here on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. Now. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. Here's what you need to know.
An incredibly impressive opening game to the World Cup for the United States. Friday night in L.A., 4-1 was the final over Paraguay. The Americans had never scored 4 goals in a World Cup game ever. 3-0 was the halftime lead on 2 goals from Fuller and Balogun, one in the 31st minute, and Balogun also scored at the end of the first half. Christian Pulisic was subbed out at halftime after being kicked in the calf. The U.S. next game, next Friday, a day game in Seattle against Australia. Canada opened its tournament in Toronto, tying Bosnia-Herzegovina 1-1 with a goal in the 78th minute. Canada had never even tied a game in its World Cup history. It had been 0-6 all time with only 1 total goal until Friday. In the WNBA, Washington edged Toronto 86-85. The College World Series started, victories for North Carolina and West Virginia, and the Brewers shut out the Phillies 6-0. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FNA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FNA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FNA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. Another edition of FNA on FSR. It is Kevin Figures and Adam Austin with you guys at FNA Shows, where you can find us on X. I am at KFig1 on X. Adam is at Follow Adam A.
It's good to be back.
Epic show for you tonight / this morning.
When do we not? Come on now. There was that one time. No, it never happens. We just like to pump up every show and say, no, this is the one where we get it right. This is going to be the biggest show. This is a World Cup edition, special edition.
That's right.
Of FNA. Speaking of special editions, George Lucas was there. I saw him.
Yes, he was.
He probably thought it was CGI with how much USA was scoring out there. He's like, wow, they've really advanced things since
Really, defying reality, you know. Well, get to that.
It's embarrassing.
Coming up here. Well, I guess so if you're Paraguay. We'll talk about that coming up in a second here. Coming up later in the show, obviously, speaking of epic, we can continue to talk about the epic, I don't know if you want to call it comeback or epic collapse, but we'll get into that coming up deeper in the show and compare it to some other epic collapses that have happened in the history of sports.
We do have Game 5 coming up a little bit later today in San Antonio with a chance to extend the series or for the Knicks to go on to win and Jason Smith to go streaking down Ventura Boulevard or something like that. I don't know. I just think Knicks fans are going to lose their minds. So
they already have. How do you come back from 29 down and you still throw eggs and start, throwing stuff at Wemby? Like, really? Are you ever satisfied?
Beating Spurs fans within an inch of their life as well, just for wearing jerseys. Stop it. Stop doing stuff for internet clout. All right?
They're being a jackass.
It's stupid. I know you're known for the rowdiness and you're trying to take things up a notch because it's the NBA Finals.
You're leaning into the worst of all stereotypes, all right?
It doesn't need to be like a Knicks gang with the way you're doing Spurs fans right now. It's disgusting.
Just be happy. You're up 3-1. You're not going to lose. At least I don't think. You're still the Knicks. So you never. Like we said this last Friday night when they were up 2-0. I was like, it is still the Knicks.
It should have been 2-2.
I'm telling you.
We could have been back tonight talking about it.
It could be 3-1 in San Antonio's favor right now, to be honest with you.
It probably should be. More on that later this hour. We'll get into a little bit of geek news. I got a video game fact and a new restaurant just opened up.
Oh, I know where you're going. I saw this the other day.
Today.
Why don't you take a taste of the drink there?
This will definitely work in your favor if you happen to live in Southern California, for sure.
Yeah, and I think they're going to franchise this bad boy.
Really?
It has
long tentacles, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, it's based around one of our favorite cartoons and I guess IP that has ever existed.
Yeah.
It started as a comic.
Definitely.
We'll get into that. And then later next hour, we got a good guest coming on.
Yes, we do. The long arm of the law, you would say. Yes, Law Murray of The Athletic going to hop on and talk about the NBA Finals. He had a pretty funny tweet the other night in the midst of the comeback that I definitely want to address it. He definitely
so funny. Okay,
spoke to me. Yeah, and speaking of that, we'll get to that in a second too. But yeah, a tweet that definitely, or a series of tweets that spoke to me. I'm not going to refer to her as that. I mean, that situation. Law Murray is going to join us at the top of the next hour to get deeper into the NBA postseason and the NBA Finals.
We'll also talk a little NFL. A guy that gets to play in college sports after betting on college sports, which we touched upon a little bit before.
Was the fix in?
We're doing a deeper dive on what's happening with Texas Tech.
Because a lot more has happened in that story since Monday when the court ruling came down, and it's just trickled out, and it's gotten worse and worse and worse from a PR standpoint for Texas Tech.
And then is Patrick Mahomes becoming the new Aaron Rodgers? We'll explain that. And then the start of the third hour, we're taking your phone calls, 877-99 on Fox, and talking about the worst collapses of all time. We may have to start with our own teams.
Yeah, this is true. Yeah, because we both have had some epic fails for sure. And then at the end of the show, it is the return of Breeze 3 because as I look across the glass.
It's so funny. Okay, anyways.
It is our friend Bree, who's back in the producer chair.
She's back.
And also, gave me this is a
phenomenal
gift too for any of you guys that are watching us on our live stream on YouTube at FNA Show. Something we've been talking about all fair for a while. I have my laptop here in studio, and I like to stand. I get a little jazzed up during the show, and I don't like to sit, so I want to be able to move around a little bit. And so I like to elevate my PC. I don't have the ability to do that unless I have some performance enhancers. Let's put it that way.
Excuse me?
Exactly. So I need something to be able to pump up my PC. And so what I usually do is try to find whatever's floating around the studio.
Yeah.
It could be a box down here that someone uses. It could be a stack of Xerox paper out in the hallway.
A makeshift stand.
You
Jimmy rig it together. Is that okay, or does that offend somebody saying that saying nowadays?
Well, whatever vernacular you want to use, you find a way to make where I come from, you just try to find ways to make things work.
I don't know the origin story of Jimmy rigging.
Neither do I.
Was there a guy named Jimmy who was really on his MacGyver game or something?
Very possible. But Bree decided to gift me, which I greatly appreciate, Bree, with this nice stand, so I can look at least somewhat professional in doing a national radio show here on FSR.
Well, you guys are on camera now. We don't need to see like rigs and reams of paper lifting up a laptop. We have to look professional here.
Yeah, you just deal with the resources that you're given. You know what I mean?
No,
Yeah.
absolutely not. No,
Like a ninja, you got to use what's in your surroundings.
no, absolutely not.
That pot over there could be a nice weapon if you think about it.
Use what you can.
Potted plant. The guy's got me in a stranglehold, and that's the only thing within reach.
Exactly.
All right, but this does look a lot cleaner. We are on the YouTube side too, FNA Show. If you want to watch us there, let's get things started with First Off.
Let's go. It's go time. Let's rock.
All right. First, before we get to that, so I did do some research on Jimmy rigged.
Am I in trouble?
So no, not at all. It's the mashing together of two historical expressions. So jury rigged. This dates back to the 1600s apparently, and in sailing. Not about like a jury.
They were jury rigging some of those witches. I know that.
Exactly. It's basically when the mast of a ship broke, it says sailors would build a temporary makeshift replacement called a jury mast. So you just kind of work with what you have and make something out of it. So that's where jury rigged came from.
Work with what you got, like Mac Miller said.
Yeah, jerry rigged is from the 19th century. Came from England to describe homes or items that were built cheaply and shoddily. So the combination of jury rigged turned to jerry rig. And then all of a sudden they said Jimmy rig basically was a regional variation of the United States because somebody mispronounced the word jerry rigged and said Jimmy instead.
We got more Jimmys out here?
I guess so.
We used to have cars named Jimmy.
So Jimmy caught on. So Jimmy replaced Jerry, Jerry replaced jury. Does that make sense?
All right.
Is everybody keeping up now?
Yeah, today I learned. I like it. Well done, Kevin. Not
right,
bad.
there you go.
Got to the bottom of that. Time to get to the bottom of how good Team USA might be.
USA. Dominant. Winning the whole thing now, right?
Oh, look, I think it was 65-1, their odds heading into tonight's game, and they may have gone up a little bit now.
Never tell me the odds.
Well, with all due respect, and
all due respect is necessary. We're talking about Team USA.
We
here.
are. I know. Well, I'll say that again with all due respect. The bar is not necessarily extremely high for Team USA when it comes to the World Cup, if I'm going to be honest.
You know what the effing bar is? Get to the quarterfinals like they did in 2002, and they lost to Germany, and they got screwed on a handball.
This is true.
Otherwise, it would have been a tied game. Maybe they go on to win.
Penalty kicks, you never know.
Roll their way into the semis. Like that's the best. That's the best they've ever played. Okay. Honestly, Team USA. That their best win is a loss to Germany in 2002.
The bums lost.
That was
not bums.
That was a generation ago.
Well, Landon Donovan had real hair back then.
It's like I've seen that on the Fox set.
This dead skunk toupee that he has going on, Kevin. Like the roadkill they put on his head. It looks like it could be a hat. Like
having hair is back in. If Nick Wright can do it, why can't Landon Donovan?
Well, meanwhile, we're looking at a picture of Jason Smith.
Can we get
looking like the Kingpin,
Bree and
Daredevil?
Why do we have a still image of Jason Smith just staring at us?
It looks
right
like
now.
he's judging our show right
It
now.
does. Which
Well,
I
it
don't
didn't
deny
take
that
long
he's,
for us to start talking about him, so maybe he's happy.
which I
know.
don't deny that he's doing. Well, you took a shot at him and the Knicks earlier in the segment.
What
so
was
that's
that
why.
shot?
He's going to run naked in the streets of Ventura and then beat somebody's ass on
Well,
the
it's been
streets.
53 years. You got to do whatever you want.
Is that how that works? Whatever the hell you
There's
want.
no rules. It's like The Purge or whatever that movie was with Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, look. We have a right to be excited. I thought in working in sports talk radio too, we all try to be like objective, but I feel like when it comes to things like the Olympics, the World Cup, we can be homers, right? A little bit.
We can get
We
excited.
can say
Don't
we
get excited.
We can say we, even though I haven't, spent a dime on a Team USA ticket in 12 years now. I think it's been.
You know what's funny? We rarely ever talk soccer, of course, on this show.
Yep.
Because you guys don't ask us to, because there isn't a demand for that. But my buddy Andy, we've talked about him before.
Oh, Andy was talking trash about me before, right?
Yeah, because
He's the guy that's like a Chiefs fan, but lives in Denver, or he's a Bronco fan and lives in Kansas, something like that.
he was a Broncos fan living in Kansas City, and he was taking shots at your Raiders, and then you found out that he actually jumped onto the Kansas City Chiefs basically in the past 10 years because of their recent dynasty. He says it's for the children.
Right.
Because his kids grew up there. They can't go to games in Denver. So he got a little bit fan happy, and he felt the fever for the
Right.
Kansas City Chiefs winning. So he switched up from the Broncos to the Chiefs.
I'm sure he became a Golden State Warrior fan the last 10 years too. So it's funny how that works.
Kevin.
Yeah.
Well, you don't got to worry about being a Cowboys fan anytime soon.
Exactly.
They're still trying to get back to 96. But so he's a huge soccer fan and a huge fan of our show here on FNA.
FNA, Cotton, FNA.
And he's been killing me for a while. Why don't you guys talk more soccer here? What's the problem here? It's like,
Well,
because
also
nothing's happening.
And also what? Like, are we talking the U.S. national team playing a friendly against Costa Rica? Are we
Right.
talking about
He thinks
PSG? Like, what are we talking? What are we doing?
because soccer is the most popular sport in the world,
Right.
football,
Sure.
that we should be talking soccer more. But we have to cater to the American audience here.
USA.
And look, there is a large clamoring for Premier League and La Liga. There are a lot of soccer fans here, but there's also a lot of leagues and a lot of different allegiances and a lot of different. What are you supposed to zero in on?
I know there's bars that open at 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. for some of these big games, even here in Southern California, for transplants from Europe, and they get their bangers and mash,
Or
and that's a
people-
thing. People are dedicated.
I would also say, Adam, that's not just transplants. There's a lot of people. I would say even like in like our generation and slightly younger, even got kids who are like in their 20s at this point, grew up watching soccer. You mentioned Landon Donovan and Dempsey, and those guys kind of popularized it, even going beyond getting to the quarterfinals. They've reached the round of 16, which means they made it out of their group the last 4 cycles, I think it's been. So
Yeah, outside of like 2008.
they have him in total embarrassments, which again, a bar is not extremely high, but
It's embarrassing.
there's definitely been more of a clamoring. It's gotten more popular, I'd say, over the past 2 decades.
Well, would you say with tonight's performance, which was historic
It
for
was.
USA Soccer,
In many ways.
they'd never been up 3-0 in a World Cup game. They never had scored 4 times in a World Cup game, 4 goals before. Like, this was something to behold, and it felt like it didn't just feel like a one-off because it's in the States, because it was at SoFi in our own backyard where we're doing the show from.
Excuse me, that's Los Angeles Stadium to you.
Whatever. All I know is this team felt like this win tonight was like an arrival or a movement, a proof of concept. Like, this is what they had been waiting for. USA fans have been waiting for a team that could be this good with talent, that's this skilled out there with precision passing and striking like we haven't seen.
No doubt. No doubt. It's definitely raised the bar to a degree. And look, they've gotten lucky to a degree that they're in a group where they have very favorable matchups. No disrespect to Australia or Turkey, who I think Turkey, a lot of people, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not an expert on this, have said like at worst, they're probably on our level, if not maybe slightly better. That can be a toss-up. But the United States has beaten 2 of the teams that were already in this group previously.
Yeah.
So
They beat Paraguay back in November in a friendly.
Right. So they have advantages there. So I think if they can get out of this group with confidence going into the next round, and who the hell knows who they're playing in the next round. Now that they've expanded it to 12 groups, and there's so many tiebreakers, and I have no idea who they could even potentially face in the next round. I don't even know if they know at this point.
We got 48 teams.
Right.
So there is an entire extra round.
An
The
extra knockout
tournament
round.
has been extended. So you get out of the group now, you're not in the Sweet 16.
The
You're in
round
the
of
group of 32.
Correct.
So
Correct.
it's going to be even more rigorous of a journey to get to the top of the mountain. I'm not saying USA is headed there, but if they got to the quarterfinals, I would say that was a successful run.
You get some juice behind you too when you're the host nation. That always, ends up helping you, and you end up playing over your head to a certain degree. But you're right. There is a certain level of talent and confidence, a coaching upgrade, massive upgrade there. That's working in their favor at this point.
Mauricio, by the way,
yes,
I mean, he looks almost exactly like a younger, a little bit trimmer Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And we were entertained.
Are you not entertained?
Like, it's his doppelganger. It's right there. I didn't know what I was looking at.
You're looking at one of the best coaches in, I won't say recent memory, but I'd say over the last decade or so in soccer. Now, he never had coached in the international level until he took the job with Team USA. He's only been here for a year and a half, and his contract expires after the World Cup ends.
Is he fulfilling the promise of Jurgen Klinsmann?
Yeah, and Jurgen had the program under his wing for, 8 years or something like that?
Now, we were fans of him in his philosophy of what he was trying to do, a complete teardown, because it wasn't working. Maybe it was just the wrong guy to implement that philosophy.
He was one of those where I was like, he was like the GM / head coach. He probably should have been the GM and not the head coach. I think that he probably was overstepping from that standpoint.
What, you mean because of what happened with Landon Donovan and that controversy of not bringing him to 2014, even though they got out of their group?
Well, I mean, there was that, and there's tactically speaking, he was asking them to do things that they probably were not well equipped to do, trying to basically whip them into shape. And it doesn't necessarily work that way if you don't have the requisite athletes to be able to do it.
Can Christian Pulisic,
who thankfully looks like he's going to be fine.
I mean,
he's been this phenom since he was like 14 years old. He was supposed to be the next great United States player, and he's living up to the billing. I mean, whether he's scoring for himself or setting up others, he set up the first goal that they scored in the first half, and thankfully he's fine after getting kicked in the calf. They took him out for precautionary reasons. Now, if they were
up 3-0,
if they're a 1-0, if they're up 1-0, maybe it's different and they leave him in the game. I'm not sure. Probably not, because it is the first game of group play, so they probably would have been cautious with him regardless. But it's great news that he's going to end up being fine.
He generated that first goal,
yes,
even though it was a self-owned.
It was his own goal,
by Paraguay there. But
Balogun was phenomenal with the 2 goals that he scored.
Okay, could he be the dream of Freddie Adu and Christian be the dream of Michael Bradley? Because I always felt like Michael Bradley was the problem at times. That Nepo baby coach's son.
Well, it's not like he was a terrible player.
He just
had some
always
bad moments.
Was just a little bit off in critical moments. And that's what it's always been with Team USA. Like, we can't get it done in the clutch ever. Clutch! And this is a game where it's not quite golf where it's millimeters, but it's pretty close to that, where you have to be so fine with these passes in those little moments you have in those windows of time where you have an advantage, and we could never pull it off before. That's what was different to me in this game.
There's a level of talent that they have now. Balogun, by the way, if you don't even know his story, was a kid like his mother was like flew in and she was already pregnant with him, and they wouldn't allow her to fly back to London.
They knew.
So he was born on U.S. soil.
Yeah.
And
USA.
So now, unless the law gets changed here at some point in the future, thankfully for him and for Team USA at the moment, he was able to be a United States citizen and be able to compete for Team USA. One of 3 countries he could have competed with. And apparently a bunch of players from Team USA went and recruited him so he can play for the United States.
He's a stud.
He's great.
That second goal that he scored is like
Incredible.
Nothing we've seen in the States from guys.
Yeah.
That was a Euro League champion right there. What does he play for? Monaco?
I believe so.
Yeah. So all these guys now are playing
of,
at the highest level outside of their international play for Team USA.
And speaking of Nepo babies, Gio Reyna getting a goal coming off the bench as well. He was involved in some controversy last cycle about being basically, I'm paraphrasing, but essentially a teen cancer. And then his mom called out Greg Berhalter for like some domestic violence. It was a whole thing.
He has some growing up to do.
It's a whole thing and he did.
How old is he now?
25, I think. Yeah, exactly. I think he's only 24 or 25.
All these guys should be good 4 years from now, too.
Definitely. That's the thing. There's room for them to grow, and they're already so talented. And if you're playing in a group like this and you're running teams off of the field like you were able to do to Paraguay, which say what you want about Paraguay, still a South American, country. That's still a powerhouse to a certain degree. At least, if you're using it as a measuring stick from where we are to where they are, I mean, this is a very, very very encouraging sign for Team USA to get off to a great start here at the World Cup.
They have much to show us. It's just the start, but it was the perfect start. And the talent is there now. I mean, they had those porn stars salivating in the crowd. It wasn't just the normal celebrities. I don't know, a couple of women that I noticed that
oh, you did?
They've had a few goals scored on them, I'll tell you that right.
Okay, I guess I'll take your word.
Those were not well defended.
I didn't notice those.
There
women,
were some
right?
things trending.
Break time.
All right, Bree.
Jeez. Bree's going after us hard, and she just got in for Mike. Tag, Bree's in. What are you, the soup Nazi over here? The producer? It was a Seinfeld episode, all right?
Yeah, I didn't say I didn't know what it meant. I just said, do you have to call me that?
Oh, you're,
I
had something else I was about to say.
I mean, it's relevant. Jerry was at the finals game the other night, as was everybody else.
Yeah. Tough love from Bree.
Yeah.
Trying to get this show on the road and try to get this thing going into the next segment. Give us the tease, Kevin.
Yeah, well, speaking of the NBA Finals, we'll get into that and see what the Spurs had to say on during their practice session on Friday and whether they are infused with confidence going back home for Game 5. We'll talk about that coming up next. F&A on FSR.
Some players are built for these moments.
Wembanyama, rising right wing three. We win!
And some players can't get enough.
Jam a three-pointer for the tie. He got it!
It's the NBA Finals.
Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Your finals moments start here on Fox Sports Radio.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. The rush of racing? Nothing beats it. But Chumba Casino comes close. Chumba's got fast spins, fun games, daily bonuses, and all the action you can handle. Now that's a ride. Ready to hit the throttle? Get in the driver's seat and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com. It's Ben Maller.
It's the gas bag on the radio who is tossing verbal raspberries at you.
Your late night getaway. The big dog.
Big.
Got it?
I disagree.
Good.
So I have abstract art, Fisher Price, and the mighty Zoltar.
What the hell did he just say?
It's the Ben Maller Show.
What kind of acid with someone on when they cook this up.
Listen on the overnights, 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Accessing.
The one and only.
When Dan Patrick speaks, you better stop and listen.
I must have missed this.
This is the Dan Patrick Show.
I like the way it is now. I like that the audience can be involved in it. And, you know, it's kind of a hybrid there. I think we're going to get to ABS all the time. At some point, you don't just stop. It always seems like we go further and further. And I think it is entertaining for the audience as well. You know, let's just get away from embarrassing the umpire, because the umpires feel embarrassed sometimes. When you have a guy go, I'm going to tap my helmet 3 times with 3 different pitches, that umpire is not happy, because especially when he's wrong 3 times. I like ABS. I think people got caught up in robot umpires, robo umpires. That was wrong. That was inaccurate. That phrase, I think, hurt the perception of what it was going to be. It's just like tennis, except for the French Open. Tennis does this. It's just accepted. And, you know, as we talked to John McEnroe yesterday, I mean, you can't yell at the umpire. They got to yell at somebody who's running a computer there. But I do think that we're headed towards that. The number of times that you see balls and strikes called incorrectly, I think it just calls in decades and decades and decades of games where you go, how many calls did they get wrong? Or how many calls did they get right? You know, for the most part, if you're 96, 97% of the time correct, I'll take that. But I think with ABS, it's going to be 100%.
If you want to know what Dan Patrick said next, just podcast it by searching The Dan Patrick Show. And as always, you can listen to Dan Patrick live weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
I did.
It's Dan Patrick. Yeah, him. You trust Dan. You need Dan.
Nobody needs to know that.
Because without Dan, mornings just wouldn't be the same.
This is guaranteed to go wrong, horribly wrong. Absolutely.
It's the Dan Patrick Show. Need I say more?
Shut up. Yeah. That, to me, was a little cringeworthy there.
Listen weekdays at 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific, right here.
I want publicity.
On Fox Sports Radio. When you call yourself the premier sports lineup in the nation, you have to back it up.
Unapologetic.
Well, my friends, we do. Check these names: Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, Jonas Knox, Stu Dotson Company, Cavino and Rich, Rob Parker, Kelvin Washington, Ben Maller, Jason Smith, and Mike Harmon. Boom. Is that premier enough? Listen to all those names right here. Really? On Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
This is the game that people are going to talk about for years to come.
F&A, Cotton, F&A. Welcome back in, F&A on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Oslin. He's Kevin Figures. Be sure to subscribe to the Fox Sports Radio YouTube channel. Just search Fox Sports Radio on the YouTube, and you'll see our best videos from all of our shows. Hit the thumbs up icon and comment away. Let us know whose takes you agree with and even those who you don't. Just search Fox Sports Radio on YouTube and subscribe.
Coming up about 15 minutes or so, we'll have some geek news featuring a restaurant, which may be my new favorite restaurant, and I haven't even been there yet, Adam. Damn! There's a little hint.
It was the soft launch today. It really doesn't open until next weekend, I think, but we'll get into that because I think it's going to affect all of us, dude, nationally. This is going to be everywhere. But speaking of everywhere, the discussion about Game 4 has not stopped yet, and just how dramatic that game was with the OG Anunoby tip in, which I don't think if he had 50 tries, maybe he does that twice. It's incredible when you watch it in slow motion, him just getting his fingertips on it.
What makes it more incredible is that he had a wide open lane to the basket. The great still photo of like 4 Spurs all in a line and OG Anunoby by himself.
Well, I'll say this.
Anybody know how to box out?
As much as people have gotten on De'Aaron Fox, and rightfully so.
You know? That was a dumbass play.
When Charles Barkley's calling something a dumbass play, it's got to be pretty bad.
That was a dumbass I will say in Charles's defense, he did say that, but he also said there were many other things, and that wasn't the sole reason why they lost, which is true.
He had a chance to back the ball out, but was on a breakaway and thought he could beat OG to the basket for the easy two instead of having to go to the free throw line where they would have had to intentionally foul him and hit those high pressure shots to go up by 3. I almost have a bigger issue with that final play with OG's tip in and how he comes over to help Victor Wembanyama
of all people,
on Jalen Brunson on that right wing 3 that he had to settle for. Like, Victor does not need your help. Victor's fine. He has it. If he stays there, he might have been able to at least get an arm in, an elbow in to chip OG off of his spot a little bit.
My only guess, and I don't know if anybody asked Mitch Johnson or De'Aaron Fox about this, is that if we overcrowd, I mean, Wemby's like 3 guys in one anyway. I throw an extra defender at him. We're all assuming Jalen's going to shoot that shot, but in case he decides to try to pass, it's another deflection lane that we can throw up in front of him. Yeah. I can understand why he would do it, but I would probably strongly encourage him not. Once Wemby's on him, let him take him. And if he's going to hit a shot over Victor freaking Wembanyama, then God love you.
Well,
he's
you know what? He did a few possessions earlier when all of a sudden they were hitting every 3 out there. Jalen Brunson hit a crazy 3 from the same spot on him.
Well, I mean, Wemby missed a couple of free throws in the clutch. I mean, there's plenty of blame to go around.
You have Josh Hart miss that layup.
He would have been the GOAT.
Which is unbelievable.
Negatively, obviously.
Yeah, he talked about OG saving his ass.
Right, which
and
is
his
true.
legacy. OG is going to get the most perfect statue ever out of MSG 15, 20 years from now of that tip-in. It's such a remarkable play. After he gets the defensive play on the other end, it was magical. I haven't seen that many celebrities stunned since Ricky Gervais did that monologue at the Golden Globes a few years ago.
And look, by the way, I have no issue with the celebs being there. I understand what this is. I live in Los Angeles. I've been to Laker games, covered Laker games, obviously watched them my entire life. The Johnny-come-latelys always come in around this time of year. You have your diehards who are there all the time. And it happens with the Knicks too. I just can't have people running on the court hugging OG Anunoby while he's trying to do an interview with Lisa Salters after the game.
Who was
the woman from not CSI? It's one of the cop shows. She's been doing it forever. Yeah, SVU.
Law and Order.
Okay, I don't know what her name is, but I know she's been on the show forever.
Mariska Hargitay.
Thank you guys. All right, Mariska Hargitay. As he's getting ready to talk to Lisa Salters, and she's running up, hugging him, giving him words of encouragement. It's just like, what?
They lost their minds. They were intoxicated. It was like that scene in the movie Perfume. They didn't know what was happening.
Our friend Vic the Brick almost got thrown in jail because he celebrated with Kobe for hitting the game-winning shot. And this Mariska woman is going on the court hugging OG Anunoby, and she's totally fine.
You're right.
Taylor Swift strutting down the sideline like Vince McMahon, like everything is cool. Haven't seen her at a basketball game my entire life until now.
Chris Rock, fine. Fat Joe, fine. Seinfeld, fine.
Yeah, even Larry David, because there have been
Larry
times
David almost cracked a smile.
Yeah, right. There are times throughout the years with all the people. Chris Rock is there a lot.
Yes.
You know, there are some of these people.
Adam Sandler, we know he's not there a lot, but he's a diehard.
And they pop in and out. But there's just people who showed up all of a sudden. Here's Taylor Swift, and apparently the Haim girls. I didn't know who they were until I had heard of Haim, but I didn't know what they looked like. But there they go.
Lakers Pizza, and they're musicians.
They all showed up, and I'm just like, who are these people? Yeah. Taylor, aren't you from Pennsylvania? I thought, shouldn't you be a Sixers fan?
So she was at the Cavs game in Cleveland, and I thought her and Travis Kelce were rooting for the Cavs. Does it matter?
Probably not.
She's it feels
she's reached a status where she's trying to get seen, you know.
There was a line from somebody that used to occupy this seat for some time that would say, "Losers are an orphan, but winners have 1,000 fathers."
Yes, he did. I know exactly who you mean.
Over this hot microphone right here.
That's right. It's true. I understand the celebrity part of it, but it reaches a whole nother level when you're running on the court and celebrating with the players on the court.
Here's something
ridiculous to me.
I don't understand.
Yeah.
The kids are playing their tail off, and the coaches are screwing it up.
Because we talked about it last week.
He's not had a great postseason overall.
No.
Let's put it that way, to put it mildly.
I don't want to have to call Mitch I don't want to have to go there. But Mitch Johnson right now.
See, Mitch Trubisky might leave it alone.
Mitch Trubisky's gonna be like, "Hey, that was my nickname."
Yeah, Mitch Johnson might be like, "What?"
Yeah, no, I'm not going there.
I'm on the Riverwalk tonight at 5:00.
I like Mitch Johnson. He is also young. He is also learning on the job.
Right.
But the way he did Dylan Harper in game 1, which I heavily criticized, with him only playing 3 minutes in the fourth quarter. And while he played more in the fourth quarter of game 4, he also, just like in game 1, was their leading scorer. Heading into the final quarter, he had 21 points, and they took him in and out of the game for substitutions, I think, at least 3 times in that fourth quarter. For a guy that is leading you in scoring, that has a rhythm, you want to guess how much time was left on the clock when Dylan Harper took his last shot of the game?
Pop quiz. This wasn't the 3-pointer that he airballed, was it?
I think it was.
Okay. No, how much
I
time
think it was.
How much time was left?
There was 10-10 left in the fourth quarter, and that was the last shot he got up. And I'm sorry, you have to stop playing politics. You have to look at how guys are actually playing. I know De'Aaron Fox is a 9-year vet. We also just saw him make a mistake that no point guard should make, even if you're a rookie. I am trusting Dylan Harper more at times. De'Aaron Fox did hit a big jumper at the end of game 3. And maybe that reassured Mitch Johnson that, no, he's still my guy. Today, Mitch Johnson came out and said he's still going to get the basketball late in the fourth quarter.
He said,
I trust him.
I've been fired 212 times, and we've traded De'Aaron
You're
72
out.
times. People have their opinions, but I don't care. I care what we say in our building. De'Aaron Fox will have the basketball in his hands at the end of the game on Saturday night.
I'm sorry, but this is the NBA Finals. You cannot be playing favorites. You cannot be.
This is going down with your guys. We've seen many a coaches. You've criticized Doc Rivers in the past for doing it with Montrezl Harrell. We've seen this happen to coaches in the past. Veteran
That's
coaches.
a bunch of crap, and y'all know
guys that they like, guys that they trust for whatever reason, justified or not. De'Aaron Fox
It's because
is
he's the
veteran who
and
has
he has a huge contract.
who has very little experience, by the way.
That's it.
In the playoffs.
He had one playoff series with the Kings.
Right.
And he was good. And I do think the ankle is still hampering him to some degree, even though it looks like he's got some of his burst back here in the NBA Finals.
The money plays thing, I guess, to a certain degree, but with all due respect,
the Finals.
This is De'Aaron. All due respect, it's De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
This isn't like no.
It's not Tony Parker.
A 44-year-old LeBron James who can barely walk, but he's making a bunch of money, and you made it to the finals, and you don't want him to just ride out the pine at the end of the bench. You want him to actually play a little bit. Like if somebody's outplaying you, you got to put him in the game. This is way too important. Who cares about his contract? Because quite honestly, Mitch Johnson, De'Aaron, all these guys know that 2 years from now, if they had their druthers, and maybe even this offseason, he ain't even going to be there.
Dylan Harper
He's not going to be on the team.
has made 72 restricted area field goals in the playoffs at a 67% clip. It is the most restricted area field goals made by any point guard in a single postseason since Russell Westbrook in 2014, and he only made them at a 53% clip, 14% less of the time. Dylan Harper has been historically great in this run.
Now, I don't know, and if he is, shame on Mitch. And De'Aaron, Dylan Harper, you're up by 20, 15, 17. You feel yourself a little bit. Maybe you take an ill-advised shot or two. I don't know if him shooting that, which I do think that airball 3 was an ill-advised shot, and he took a couple of them. But he's still, to your point, but one of their best offensive engines. You got to leave him in the game the rest of the time. Like, you have to leave him in the game.
If he's your leading scorer, he had been hitting threes. He's 8 of 12 from the field entering the fourth quarter. I'm going to let that slide. I'm going to let that happen. De'Aaron Fox is taking bad shots.
Yeah.
No penalty for him. Oh, he's a vet. He's
I
been
would
here
actually
and done
argue
that.
that he's missed a lot of good shots in this series.
He has missed some shots he typically makes.
I don't know if he's been so overzealous into taking shots he shouldn't take. I will say that for De'Aaron Fox. He's had some bad turnovers.
Yes.
I don't know if he's taken too many ill-advised shots. Harper has, but the upside is there. I would rather take Dylan Harper taking an ill-advised shot or two, knowing that he gives me the best shot as an offensive engine outside of Wemby and Steph Castle.
How about just ride the hot hand? And the guy who looks like the moment's not too big for him, he's out there playing with passion and effort. The way they fell apart to blow a 29-point lead, which was obviously historic in itself, the worst blown lead in an NBA Finals game. And in the third hour, we're going to talk about the biggest collapses ever in sports. But you're looking for somebody that actually wants to take it to the basket because they did start to settle for threes. And they went 14-26 in the first half, and they were hitting everything.
Yeah.
And then they probably got a little bit too comfortable and a little tired, and they didn't want to go downhill, and they didn't want to have to do the hard stuff. You know who does? Dylan Harper. He has an appetite for scoring at the rim. That stat I just pointed to
even
illuminates that.
He even fell into shooting a lot of threes. But I will say the great majority, especially by the time we got to the fourth quarter, the threes that they were missing were the threes that they were making in the first half.
They were open.
I don't think that process was necessarily a problem. You know, like I thought process was a problem for the Knicks when they blew that lead. Was it in game 2? When they were up big, and then San Antonio kind of stormed back because they kind of went to an isolation situation and tried to go to their old school ways back in the Tibbs days with get out of the way. San Antonio, they just weren't able to get to make their open looks. So I'll say that. I don't have a problem with shooting threes if they're wide open.
If you're generating good looks, fine. But if it keeps happening and you're missing, it could tell you that your legs are tired.
Sure.
You can't get as much into the shot. Try something different. What was interesting was they looked more tired coming out of the half in the third quarter, which really is what did them in because they got down to a 15-point lead entering the fourth. The way they were playing in that third quarter, after getting that halftime break, after getting their hydration break, Mexico's in the World Cup now. What, you can say water break? That sounds too soft. Over a pregnant woman, water break? What if it's Gatorade? I don't know. That's the problem. Because if they say water break, they're going to have a sponsor for it, and then they'll spill the players out there, and if they're not drinking from that sponsor, it get confusing. Now you're drinking. Now you know how to work. Yeah, whatever. All I know is Victor Wembanyama played with much more force in the fourth quarter, where he should be more tired, and they all did, than the third quarter. So it's like, I don't know what the excuse is. They obviously choked. They obviously felt the moment. It was too big for them.
Not to take credit away from the Knicks, because obviously a great collapse. You need a great comeback too. And a lot of their shots as well, and came through in the clutch. And Anunoby had followed his phenomenal defensive play against Fox, but obviously phenomenal offensive play to tip it in.
So, and he hit multiple threes, and Brunson hit that one we talked about, and Jose Alvarado put a move at the basket that faked out Wemby to think that he wasn't going to make that spin move to the right block for the layup. That was unbelievable. He hit an hamstring. Everything had to go right for one team and wrong for the other. That's the formula for a comeback like that. You said it earlier, the Spurs continue to be up 3-1 in the series. And it's not just because of player performance, it is also because of coaching and lineup decisions. No doubt. So that is stuff you can control. It is one thing if you're just missing shots, missing good looks. But if you're not optimizing lineups, there's not much. This is beyond more in sports and things like that. Doc Rivers and what happened. That's much crap. Montrezl Harrell guarding Nikola Jokic. All you got to do is beat the Zubats, and they don't blow a 3-1 lead.
You know, all this talk about New York is kind of making me hungry. How about a nice New York slice of pizza? Know anywhere where I can potentially get that here pretty soon there, Adam?
I may know the best place ever, the place of our dreams as children. And now you can take your kid there. And it just opened up in Santa Monica, but I think it's going to be ubiquitous. It's going worldwide. Mr. Worldwide, we're talking about this restaurant coming up next here on FNA on Fox Sports Radio.
We are the guys you can listen to.
No pandering.
All grit.
It's like an old relationship.
We are the girls you can trust.
Listen.
Who said this was a good idea?
They completely go together.
We have a sound that resonates.
Let that one sink in.
From the weekdays to the weekends.
That's what we do, baby!
We are Fox Sports Radio.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Game night's fun until someone spends 5 minutes lining up one shot. Chalk, breathe, re-chalk, still aiming. While they figure it out, I fire up Chumba Casino. I can spin anywhere, anytime, and there's always a new social casino game every week. Spins happen way faster than that shot. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com.
Let's Chumba. Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot. In-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
This is The Herd. When Colin Cowherd drops the info, The Herd, you need to listen.
Everybody listen up!
Landon Donovan very publicly criticized American soccer. He said it's a money grab. It's not about really developing younger players. And listen, this is the home of the greatest capitalism in the earth, and that's often true. That's one of the complaints I've had with AAU basketball. It's all about everybody getting paid, tracksuit Tony getting paid, not developing our basketball players. That's why many of the great stars now are international and not American. They're not domestic because our feeder system is broken. But even if soccer got everything right, our academies were great, the MLS was popular. Instead of being on Apple TV where you lose all your casual viewers, got to pay to watch MLS. I don't like that. But even if they got it all right, they're one of 5 popular domestic leagues, and we have a massive college sports system that, other countries don't have. We have always watched the World Cup, and we've always loved it, men's and women's, and we've always embraced it. The numbers have always been strong, just like the Olympics. We don't love curling or downhill skiing necessarily, but we watch it. You wrap a flag around hockey and 4 nations or the Olympics or soccer or the Olympics, and we'll start watching stuff we don't normally watch. I mean, last night, 88,000 people showed up in Alabama to watch Messi. That's who we are. But every time we talk about a World Cup on American soil, here's what I hear. This is an opportunity to grow the game. And I don't.
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Cavino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Cavino and Rich.
Moments and shared experiences where you watch together, a la American Idol, because it seemed like everybody was watching. And when it comes to mind for me, like America's Funniest Home Videos. I feel like everybody was watching that. Sunday nights, you were watching America's Funniest Home Videos.
Remember the first line of the theme song?
Stories from your friend next door.
Yeah.
They never tell. Yeah, like because before TikTok, you were watching all these stupid videos together, having a laugh over some pizza with your family. And then you talk about it with your friends the next day or your coworkers or whatever.
Very rarely do we have those moments nowadays, right? We don't live in a monoculture. I would say the last time we were all watching the same thing, maybe even had a watch party with friends, as corny as that sounds, I would say the Game of Thrones finale.
Cavino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is Stu Gatz and Company live.
The audience wants this.
You're listening to Stu Gatz and Company live.
Let's all, if we can, get into Jalen Brunson's head. Yes, he's huge on basketball IQ. Yes. But was he doing that for that reason, or was he just saying, King of New York? Yep. I just hit a 3 over this M bleeper. Okay, yes. Right here. Yes. And if I hit this shot over Wemby to win this game, the king of all of New York for life. There's no way he was saying to himself, yes, somebody's going to go get that rebound.
He wasn't going through the calculations of, hey, 5.6 seconds to go. If I shoot it now, OG will have a chance to tip it in, or someone will have a chance to tip it in. He just took a wide open good shot.
He was going full Damian Lillard right there. Yes. He was absolutely going full Damian Lillard. And if that shot goes in, oh my God, the legend increases by 1,000,000.
Stu Gatz and Company live is right here. Weekdays, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. When it comes to the things we do,
I love the show. Yeah, I love the show.
We just do it better than the rest.
Bang.
From our YouTube numbers to our streaming numbers.
That's how you get beat.
You want any other information?
No one can compete with us.
End of story.
Just search Fox Sports Radio.
I'm just enjoying listening. Thank you guys for the entertainment.
When you have a product this good, no one, and I mean no one, can compete with us.
Nope, guess what?
That's the truth.
Let's go!
We are Fox Sports Radio. The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. Wow. You can see him on The Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
Now, at exactly what point did we lose control here?
F&A, Cotton, F&A. I'll say pretty much the start of the second half of last game if you were the San Antonio Spurs. It is F&A on FSR coming up. Speaking of the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knicks, Law Murray covers the NBA for The Athletic. Going to call in, join us here on the show in about 10 minutes or so. But Adam,
It's one of our favorite segments. Let's get to it quickly.
Nerd. What is a nerd?
Lone gunman. We're playing D&D tonight. You want to come?
Gangsters, what's up, guys? Beekman's World. Don't be jealous that I've been chatting online with babes all day.
Just keep your power gloves off her, pal.
Brace yourselves, gentlemen.
So, a video game fact here, because this happened earlier today. There was another copy of the original Super Mario Brothers game for NES that went up for auction at Heritage Auction. We've covered this over the years. And it went for, do you want to guess, Kevin? It's an all-timer.
Oh, okay. So I'm lowballing up. I said $250,000.
Yeah. Higher.
$2.5 million.
Cold. Okay, you're getting very warm.
Getting warm? Are you kidding me?
Well, now you're getting hot because you're upset. Damn.
$4 million?
$3 million.
Get that.
$3 million.
Almost had to have Mark use the dump button on me right now.
Breaking the previous
$4
record
million.
of $2 million from like 5 years ago.
Hell out of here.
Why?
Yes, why? That's the operative question.
First of all, it's in pristine condition. It's a 9.6 A+++. Anything better than
No.
A? Yes,
Yes.
a plus. And it's even more unique because it was in the second production run of the game where they didn't even have shrink wrap, I guess, around it back then. They were raw dogging it and just leaving the cardboard exposed to the elements. So if you find one of these that's in good condition, like that's like finding the princess in the first castle. It just doesn't happen.
Do we know how many of these were made, or we don't have the numbers on that?
We don't know.
Okay.
At least I don't know. I didn't run the numbers on this, but to find one in this condition that wasn't even in shrink wrap, like they know the first edition ones that came out, the first production line that they pumped out, there's none that are to this point. They don't believe there's any that are close to mint condition. This is as close as it gets for the second production run of Super Mario Brothers. But yeah, $3 million, a lot. Now,
unbelievable.
I was going to ask the most you pay for a video game, but I think I got that answer. A lot less than $3 million.
Yeah, I would say so.
And what would that game be?
Few fewer zeros. I think one of the Maddens back in the day got me for like $68.
Yeah,
that was probably the most I ever paid for a single video game.
Oh, because if it's in the game, it's in the game. You're getting a lot there.
That is
That's
true.
good value. Speaking of a lot, in Santa Monica, we talked about this probably 6 months ago, maybe. One of the early shows on FNA on Fox Sports Radio. That would be the official Ninja Turtles pizzeria going in the city of Santa Monica, the first of its kind. They're not bringing it to Manhattan or New York. First, they're doing it out here. Nickelodeon owns Ninja Turtles now. It's all affiliated. So this is the first official one.
Seems odd that they wouldn't open in New York first, considering they were, in New York.
And it's more like a sewer there instead of Santa Monica, which is actually kind of nice.
And it's depends what corner you turn. And it's New York style pizza as well. So
it is New York style, as is this. So I watched a YouTube video. It's
I'm more of a
soft
Chicago
launch.
style guy, Mark, by the way. I'm a deep dish all day.
Somebody went there today because it just opened today as a soft launch.
Okay.
And it's pretty nicely done. It's close quarters like a sewer pipe or a Subway when you first walk in. So you may get claustrophobic like Casey Jones.
As long as it doesn't smell like a sewer, we'll be all right.
You thought that word meant something else. There's a lot of fluorescent lights and artwork from different eras of Ninja Turtles, but the majority of it is prominently featured with the old school Ninja Turtle cartoon design stuff, which we like. There's even a cool wall with old TVs and speakers stacked on each other that are all synced up to the original Ninja Turtles cartoon.
Nice.
So like vintage stuff, which is what we watched it on back in the day. They have big mutagen canisters on a wall that are kind of like lava lamps with this green mutagen ooze moving around in there. Bathrooms are lit up in green. Aesthetically, the ambiance really good. The interior decorating, they did a nice job there. Even when you pick up your pizza, you get it from like the windshield of the turtle van.
Nice.
Which is what they give it to you through. All the pizzas are Ninja Turtles themed with names like Mutagen Mushroom or TCRI, which has some different cheeses and a very green looking olive oil to drizzle on it like it's ooze,
I'm assuming they don't sell turtle soup.
No turtle
If
soup.
you're a Shredder fan.
30.
Just like Michelangelo requested.
They better have video games in here, right?
So they have one machine. It looks like a main machine that they have set up to where you can play the original Ninja Turtles or the Turtles in Time. But pretty much standard toppings for all the pizza. And they got a gift shop No nunchucks, nothing like that, but you can get some T-shirts.
10.
I need more than one video game machine. I'm not standing in line, and if I am, I'm taking
5 seconds.
All right, coming up next, Law Murray of The Athletic talking NBA Finals.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details. Jason Smith and Mike Harmon are dropping knowledge like this.
These guys are sick, man.
5.7 left. No timeouts remaining. Anunoby is handed the ball. Finds Brunson at midcourt. Launches a straight on three. Missed it short. Tip by Anunoby. He put it in. Anunoby put it in. The Knicks take the lead with 1.2 to go.
I mean, in my life, this is a top 5 all-time sporting moment for me. In my life with all my teams, right? 86 Mets, Game 6 of 86, right? Talking about moments in games. Game 6 of 86. The Jets beating the Patriots in the playoffs, 28-21, beating Brady 15 years ago. Sure. It's a long time ago now.
Well, yeah.
Alonso's home run against the Brewers 2 years ago in the playoffs. The Monday Night Miracle, the Jets beating the Dolphins after being down, 29-7 going to the fourth quarter. And this game tonight. Like, this is a top 5 all-time sports moment for me.
Syracuse doesn't bump any of those?
I still can't. Oh, yeah, Hakeem Warwick's block. Yeah, okay. I forgot about Hakeem Warwick's block.
I got to make
the
sure.
The block in the championship game.
Yeah.
No, you're right. That's up there. That's up there. That could probably replace the Jets Patriots, because that was more of just the game they won rather than a moment.
Yeah.
Like, Warwick's block of Michael Lee's 3. That moment for me was incredible.
But since, we're talking New York sports, and Spider-Man's from New York. He's got the Sinister Six.
Spider-Man.
You can have 6 moments. You get an extra.
Spider-Man. This was, without a doubt, again, the greatest moment and greatest basket in Knicks history. The follow by OG Anunoby.
To get the rest of what Jason Smith and Mike Harmon said, podcast it by searching The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And as always, you can hear The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
Basically, get out of the way.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan Patrick.
I have the odds for next year's NBA title. 2 teams have the best odds to win the title. It's the Spurs and the Thunder at plus 250. Then the Celtics plus 600. Then it's the Knicks, followed way down the list by the Pacers there. Now, we haven't had any moves in the offseason yet, which is interesting. I still feel like the Celtics are going to do something. I don't know what happens with Giannis. And the Spurs, if they're losing this NBA Finals, regrouping, do they do anything in the offseason?
Law sent me to voicemail twice.
Moving into his 4-year, $200 million contract.
4-year, $220 million.
Oh, 220. My bad.
The Dan Patrick Show.
Dan and the Danettes and you.
Weekdays, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Jason Smith.
You ready?
Mike Harmon.
And that's it.
We've put the sports world on notice.
We're going to do our thing.
We've taken 2 of the best to disrupt the status quo.
That's not a bad idea.
Do you agree, Mike Harmon?
Oh, hell yeah. Good for them.
Did we mention their best friends?
Smith and I, we butt heads about a lot of things.
They both need help.
It's the Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
You got him ready.
And here's what you need to know.
The United States dominated Paraguay 4-1 in LA Friday night to open their World Cup schedule. 3-0 was the halftime lead. The Americans' first goal came in the 7th minute. Next up for the Americans, a game next Friday in Seattle, a day game against Australia. Canada
What are we
opened
talking
in
about?
Toronto and tied Bosnia-Herzegovina 1-1 with a goal
Oh,
in
don't
the
give me that look,
78th
Adam.
minute. Domination at Milwaukee
Law's
for
ready.
pitcher Jacob Mizorowski, a complete game, one-hitter with 15 strikeouts.
Law's
The
awake.
Brewers shut out Philadelphia.
He's ready to go.
6-0.
He just said he
In
was
his
doing
last
something else and he
8
threw his
starts,
phone away.
Mizorowski is 7-0 with an
But
ERA
now
of
he's ready.
0.17.
It looked like a more
Houston
interesting
won 10-8
conversation,
at
not gonna
Kansas
lie.
City. Yordan Alvarez in the first
way more
inning had
interesting.
2 homers, 6 RBIs.
Looked like it was a
A's
little
and Cubs each
gossipy.
won late night
Felt very
games.
left
Minnesota
out.
with 2 solo homers in the 8th at
Ugh.
St. Louis 9-8. The White Sox beat the Dodgers 8-2. Wins for Toronto and the Mets. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin.
A winning organization? Yeah.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FNA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FNA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
Hour 2 of FNA on FSR. Hit us up on X at KFig1 and at Follow Adam A. Also at FNA Show is where you can find us on X and on our YouTube page as well. If you want to see our faces, you can go to YouTube and go to at FNA Show to check us out. Coming up in the very next segment, we'll dive deep into the Brendan Sorsby conversation and controversy in the college football world. But right now, Adam, got a special guest lined up.
Phone's ringing, dude.
Thank you, Donnie.
Well, we were just talking Ninja Turtles and that new pizzeria in Santa Monica and the video game machine they have. This guy likes some retro games, but if he was a Ninja Turtle, he wouldn't be. He'd be Splinter. He's too wise. He's too smart. He's
Oh.
not with that Cowabunga Radical S.
I would say he would be. I thought he'd be Raphael because he just Law seems like somebody that doesn't play around. And he'll whoop your ass if you need to.
Law, you ever lost a sigh? What's up? Thanks for doing this.
Hey, man. Ninja Turtles back in the 90s, I used to have, like, when we ran out of paper towels, I would just take a couple of them, tape them together. That would be my bow right there. Or
there you go.
take 2 of them. There. You got your katanas.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah, man. Like, we used to make all the Ninja Turtle weapons out of either paper towels or toilet paper roll.
Oh, yeah, the broken broomstick that I would use when I would clean the house, and when it broke, I just kept it. I said, "Why are you keeping that for?" So don't worry about it. That was my that was my staff. That was my Donatello.
My dad made me some nunchucks because Michelangelo was my guy.
See, there you go. We all got a story.
A chain between 2 pieces of wood, no problem. La with us here on Fox Sports Radio. La, we were very critical, especially me, on Mitch Johnson for Game 4. The minutes with Dylan Harper, the way he was getting jerked around with him being in and out of the lineup in the 4th quarter. Like, how do you feel? Because there's a real case to be made that San Antonio could easily be up 3-1 in this series. And I feel like there's so many self-inflicted wounds. And it's not just from performance out there, but also some of the lineup stuff. How do you feel about that and how the Spurs have handled things?
I mean, naturally, I'm going to defend Mitch. I think this whole group's first go-around in the playoffs. And I think a lot of people are just spoiled because it's the Spurs and because they're used to, when the Spurs are in the playoffs, there being some prestige there. But, like, these aren't those Spurs, you know. Like, this is a team that was one of, if not the worst team in the Western Conference the previous 6 years. We're talking about a group that, you know, they're making their first playoff run together, and the scrutiny is coming in the NBA Finals, not in the regular season, not in the first round of the playoffs. So, yeah, they have screwed this Finals up in a way that's indefensible. But I'm going to definitely put it on the collective. Mitch needs to be better. You get a 29-point lead. There's no reason for Victor Wembanyama to be touching 40 minutes, but it also goes to show that I don't think they trusted Luke Cornett to be able to, they lost a lot of points off of this game. And like with a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter, I bet you they were just thinking, just get to the damn finish line and finish it. Just get the win somehow. You'll tie the series. You get home court advantage back. You don't have any more games with a day of rest. They just failed to do it. It was a situational basketball fail. And I mean, even with Dillon, like Dillon has certain limitations right now that makes it difficult to just give him the entire offense. And that goes with Stephon Castle too. It's like Stephon Castle is a special player, a really good player, but because he can be turnover prone when he doesn't play with De'Aaron Fox, and because he's not a great shooter, it kind of informs what kind of lineups that you think you need out there. And then when those guys who you're trusting, and then typically it's De'Aaron Fox. Like everyone wants De'Aaron Fox to get his minutes cut, and it's because he's failed before, because he was with the Kings for so long, because he is the guy who's being paid a lot right now. He's the one that isn't on a rookie contract. He's on a max. He's the guy that's like, yeah, it's on you. They should trade him. They should bench him. All that. That's a hard thing to do. And for Mitch Johnson, yeah, he's got some dilemmas right now. But at the end of the day, I can't put this any more on the coach than I put it on those guys who are out there, their best players, and the guys who have the ball in their hands the most.
Law Murray of The Athletic joining us here on FNA on FSR. One of the underrated aspects of the Knicks' success in this series, I think, has been the effectiveness of their bench. Mitchell Robinson, Landry Shamet, Alvarado have been excellent. Other than Harper, the Spurs bench has been pretty much non-existent, and that includes Keldon Johnson, the sixth man of the year, who's really been kind of, I don't know if the actual numbers bear this out, but it seems like he's been a net negative for them. Are you surprised by the way that dynamic has played out in this series?
I'm a little surprised by it because, like Keldon Johnson was, when you look at Keldon Johnson compared to who a counterpart would be off of New York's bench, you would think that San Antonio would have some kind of advantage there, one that didn't really present itself in the Oklahoma City series, where I felt like Oklahoma City's bench outplayed San Antonio's bench in the Western Conference Finals. We all know what the advantage the Spurs had. Wemby showed up for that series in a way that Chet Holmgren never presented himself. Well, in this series, I think Dylan Harper has been great in his minutes, at least to start these games. I don't think Dylan's been as good as everyone says he has been, but everyone can agree that Keldon Johnson has been thoroughly underwhelming. And a big part of it is Keldon is an okay shooter. When that shot's not going in, and when you're playing a team like New York that packs the paint, it's just tough on a guy like Keldon. Like Keldon gets by on playing hard and making the occasional jump shot. And New York is playing hard, and they understand what Keldon's good at, and they're taking it away. And it's just, except for his defense in Game 3, I thought his defense was pretty good in Game 3. Other than that, Keldon's just a limited player. And, sometimes you can get by with effort, but when effort meets effort, then talent is the differentiator. And Keldon just hasn't been good enough.
Law Murray is our guest here on Fox Sports Radio. At Law Murray, the NU is where you follow him for his coverage of the NBA, especially in Southern California. Doing it for The Athletic. Law, did you make anything, or did you think much of what Wemby said today about everybody knows we're going to do it when it comes to coming back in this finals? I felt like with the way that question was posed towards him, it's much to do about nothing. You kind of have to have that belief, right?
Yeah, like what are you supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? You're not there if you're the Spurs to say, we'll see what happens. You take one game. Like,
yeah.
You tricked off 3 games. They've had a first quarter lead at the end of every single game of this series. They had a 29-point lead with 9:31 left in the third quarter and a 20-point lead with 9.5 left in the fourth quarter. And it's on Wemby, he's their best player. He's supposed to be the best player in the series, and that hasn't been the case. And they have not finished games. They have not maintained leads. But this is a good Spurs team. This is a Spurs team that could win the championship. And they know that how to start these games. They just don't know how to manage and finish them as well. And so it starts with home court. Get a game there. You'll take some momentum going back to New York. You get that game, and then it's one game for a championship. And the Spurs had that experience already, beating the defending champions on the road. So, the Spurs have been in deficits before this season as far as a series goes. Their biggest issue is, how do you play from ahead? Because now, just like Wemby can say, hey, we believe we can win 3 in a row, everyone in the building knows that the Spurs could be up 25. It doesn't matter. The Knicks still have a chance to win the game.
Law, you mentioned that Wemby should be the best player in this series. And I know after last week's show with Adam and I, that's when the Knicks took a 2-0 lead. And at the time, we said we thought Karl Anthony Towns should be the front runner for MVP of the series. Now that we've had a couple of more games under our belt, who do you think should be the front runner? Brunson is the betting favorite. Do you think that Brunson now should be the favorite to win MVP?
Yeah, I think he should be. And this is coming from someone who will be the first to tell you, I don't think that your best player should be a small guard. We can add some nuance to it. I think people who are going to come at Becky Hammon's neck aren't really here for nuance. They're here for receipt validation. So, if you're there for that, then I'm not really with you on that. But I got to give Jalen credit where credit is due. And even though Jalen Brunson ball has buried the Knicks in every one of these first quarters, Jalen just gets better as the game goes on. And save for him having a terrible third quarter in game 3, which the Knicks couldn't recover from, Jalen has finished these games. In game 1, 24-point second half turnaround, and that was Jalen hooking up with OG to outscore the Spurs by just those two guys by themselves. You saw the same thing in game 4 at a more drastic level. And then in game 2, Jalen, that was his worst overall game of the series. But that was Jalen making the biggest plays in the last minute with the steal, the go-ahead free throw. So, this is as much – if the Knicks win the championship, man, it's about how you build the damn team around the kind of player that you're saying has to be the engine to your offense. Like, you don't have a bunch of guys who are, below average at starting positions if a Jalen Brunson is going to be your best player. Like, Jalen ain't erasing that kind of thing. But given the team that the Knicks have put around Jalen, those guys have complemented each other incredibly well. Like, that's what it comes down to. And all those guys haven't showed up in every single one of these games. I think Jalen right now would be the Finals MVP, but you got to win 4. And I do think how they win their 4th game, if they do, I'm expecting them to at some point. I think that will factor into the voting.
Do you expect them to in game 5, or is this going back to New York, Law? And just that perspective of what this would mean to New York and this type of run. You've been around, you've seen a lot of ball. That looked like a miracle with the way they won that game 4, the way that went down. Like, how special is this?
It's special in terms of basketball. I could care less about New York. So, I wish it was the Brooklyn Nets doing this. I would really want to see what the reactions would be. This has been the most bandwagon NBA finals I've ever seen.
Hey, we mentioned it earlier.
We did. Yep.
Yeah. So, they getting team broadcasters in trouble for that stuff too. So I'm not getting caught up in the whole, oh my God, it's so much better because I don't care. So I do care about the basketball part of it. I think these players and shout out to Mike Brown, like, they're doing special things together. And that being said, I think the San Antonio Spurs can force a game 7. And a lot of this is me being loyal to my own pick. Like I said, the Knicks would win the NBA Finals in 7. Well, I also said they'd be up 3-1, and that San Antonio would force a game 7, being down 3-1. So I'm here for that. But I'm working on power rankings, man. And if this series does end Saturday night, then I got new material coming out Monday morning, and I'm here either way. I'm done watching NBA basketball for the most part. I got 3 games maximum left in me. I'm coming to the end of this. Whatever happens, happens. I feel like this is inevitable that the Knicks will win, but I'm a chaos agent, so I want to see this stretch out as long as it can.
That's so funny. I was telling Adam the exact same thing in the break. I was saying, and it will be the most Knicks things ever for them to blow a 3-1 lead, even just to get to a game 7, just to see those Knicks fans sweat a little bit will be great.
I want to see it. I want to see it, man.
But you said something interesting a couple of minutes ago about like team building and how the Knicks built around Jalen Brunson built around his weaknesses so you can cover up his deficiencies. And I mean, obviously it's not rocket science. That's how you build around your superstar, but there's been talk from a lot of people about, do the Knicks have the blueprint of how to build a championship contender in today's NBA with tax aprons and not being able to load up with super teams and all that? And is it that, or is it a combination of that along with the fact that maybe they didn't have the toughest road in the Eastern Conference and maybe they're still facing a San Antonio team that's still getting their sea legs under them with no experience? I don't want to take anything away from the Knicks, but they're also very fortunate to be in the position that they're in, considering how things have played out for them, no?
I mean, look, if you want to face the toughest teams possible in the playoffs, then you should just be a lower seed, right? Like, no one will question you if you're the 2023 Miami Heat and you're in the NBA Finals as an 8 seed. Like, the bottom line is, and I point this out objectively, and again, like, there's a lot of Knicks fans who just want to be offended. So, I'm not here to entertain them, but, we can objectively say that they didn't face the teams that might have given them a tougher run in the last 3 rounds here. Like, they caught a break not facing the Boston Celtics, and I think they would have beat the Celtics like they beat the Celtics last year, right? But we all know that the 76ers weren't that quality of team compared to the Celtics, and the Sixers beating the Celtics, overcoming that 3-1 lead, they had nothing left for the Knicks. The Detroit Pistons, who lost to the Knicks last year in the quarterfinals, they loaded up and they destroyed the Knicks all regular season long, and they would have given the Knicks a real problem in the conference finals, especially given Detroit having the home court advantage. But Detroit didn't earn that opportunity against the Knicks because they got blown out at home, and they lost game 5 in overtime, a game they should have won against the Cavaliers in the semifinals. So, of course, the Cavaliers got there. They were just thrilled to be in the conference finals, and they got swept, right? Same thing here in these NBA finals. Like, the Thunder have been comfortable against the Knicks. They were defending champions. They were shorthanded. They couldn't get by a Spurs team that had their number pretty much all season long. The Spurs have played like a team that haven't failed. They went through this regular season, had a dream regular season compared to what we've already touched on these previous 6 seasons, right? And then they get by in the quarterfinals, and they get by in their semifinals against a Timberwolves team that went to back-to-back conference finals. They knock off the Thunder, a team everyone spent the entire year antagonizing, and it felt like their championship. And they get here, they get these double-digit leads, and they act like they're just supposed to win. They're getting smacked in the mouth right now. And so now they're facing elimination, and maybe the tenure of how they take these games change. But we can't take anything away from the Knicks. What you can say is get you a superstar who takes a pay cut like Jalen Brunson did, because that was the biggest factor. I bet you Becky Hammond doesn't say what she said. If Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, and Mikal Bridges were on the team, when Becky said what she said, Josh Hart was coming off the bench and Jalen Brunson was, he wasn't even an all-star playing next to Julius Randle, like Mitchell Robinson. You guys he's had a terrible finals, okay? But, I mean, he's on the team and he plays his role, and it is what it is. It's a whole lot better when that dude is playing 10, 15 minutes rather than being the starting center like he was when Becky said what she said. So, you want to build a team in a certain way, you got to have a lot of breaks with your team building opportunities. The Knicks have aced that part of it, and they still needed the right coach, the right circumstances as far as opponents to get to this point. I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from them, but we can also say that, the Knicks might want to be even better if they want to do what no team has done in this decade, and that's repeat. They got to still get this one too. So let's play it out.
Last one. We got about a minute here, but earlier today, Dan Wojcicki reported that the Brooklyn Nets are going to offer Austin Reeves $178 million over 4 years. How do you feel about what range you'd be comfortable with if you're the Lakers paying Austin Reeves to retain him next to Luka and just team building with those two guys?
Yeah, you give Austin Reeves what he wants because it is Luka who loves Austin, loves playing with him. His demeanor talking about Austin is a whole lot different than it is talking about LeBron James. I'll tell you that much. So, and Rob Pelinka's already caught a lot of heat for letting fan favorite type players who are impactful go on to play for other teams. I don't think you get a third strike with that. So, it will not be great, but you can't lose Austin Reeves. Not while you have Luka Doncic on your team.
He is the great Law Murray. Follow him on X at Law Murray, the NU. Law, thanks for staying up late with us again here on FNA on FSR. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you so much, guys.
There goes Law Murray. Coming up, we got to talk about it.
Speaking of the law,
arm wasn't long enough, apparently.
I fought the NCAA and I won.
Yeah. We got to talk about it next. Texas Tech has a situation on their hands. He's going to play. Should he be playing? We'll give you our thoughts. This is the FNA on Fox Sports Radio.
Di Maria's on the far side. Here it comes, Di Maria! That's what the World Cup sounds like. And your coverage starts here. From the South. Yes! To Fox and FS1 on your TV. We got you. All right, World Cup. It's the World Cup on Fox Sports Radio.
So Ryan and I came to the decision to get life insurance when I was pregnant with our first son. He really wanted us to be taken care of if something happened to him. He provided for our family in life and also after his death. I think that would make him proud. Ethos makes it fast and easy to get life insurance. Apply in minutes and get same-day coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health
It's
questions
here.
required.
King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time or while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
What's up, fools? Main event Jey Uso here from the WWE. When it's just me between day one-ish. Now, with hundreds of casino-style games and new titles arriving weekly, there's always something fresh to try at Chumba Casino. The daily boosts make it even more fun. And have me about to get them all during my downtime. Ready for a fun way to chill out and enjoy a few minutes for yourself?
Purchase necessary. PGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins. Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
One guy sees the whole board.
I keeps it real, son. But here's where I got smoke with you, sir.
The other guy sees what he wants.
Kelvin, you're so full of it.
I know they won the game, but I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give it to you real.
They couldn't be further apart.
Well, let me say it this way.
Stop it.
And that's why this works. It's The Odd Couple.
Book it.
With Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
What? You know you make me wanna. Keep screaming.
Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen.
Here they are.
Their morning show is funny.
Kind of set the tone for my day.
This is the show that has two pros and a cup of Joe.
Who is Joe?
LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox.
Texas Tech has done such a phenomenal job of defending him and have ignored so many obvious issues with what's at play here. I'm in. Texas Tech rolls out some 22-minute video defending and stating their case as to why they have Brendan Sorsby's back in this whole situation. Texas Tech president Lawrence Chovanec had the money quote, I think we have to recognize the rules in place now were made long before there were millions of young people walking around with a legal gambling apparatus in their pocket. I tell you right now, complete 180. I think he should play. Not only should he play, I would like every highlight shown of Brendan Sorsby to be bookend with DraftKings ads. Like, if we're doing this, let's go all the way. I'm sold.
If Brendan Sorsby's addiction was not to show up to workouts, not to practice, when his addiction kicks in of not wanting to practice, not going to class. I'm addicted to sleep, so I don't really like going to class. So I'm not going to be in the classroom. You're not going to see me in the classroom. If any of these addictions were addictions that he was executing at the school, what would they do to him? And last I checked, you don't have to go and have a court and a judge rule on if you should be eligible or not if you miss class.
To get the rest of LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and Jonas Knox, podcast by searching Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Listen to Two Pros and a Cup of Joe weekdays from 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen,
It's Colin Cowherd, outspoken.
I know it's uncomfortable and nobody wants to talk about it.
It's the Herd.
This is
the Herd.
That's what this is.
Man of the people.
People don't want Socrates or Aristotle. They want a guy.
Oh, did I mention outspoken?
I'm sorry, guys, but unpopular opinion. Rivalries are overrated.
It's the Herd with Colin Cowherd. Listen every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Wow.
Right here on Fox Sports Radio. Fox Sports Radio is taking over YouTube, and you can be a part of it. Just go to YouTube and search Fox Sports Radio. Hit that subscribe button and smash that notification bell and catch all the videos from your favorite shows. Two Pros and a Cup of Joe. Dan Patrick, Colin Cowherd, Stu Gatz and Company. Live. Cavino and Rich. The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. The Jason Smith Show with Mike Harmon. And the Ben Maller Show. Fox Sports Radio. On YouTube.
Subscribe, hit that thumbs up icon, and comment away.
The most fearless voice in sports is on FS1. The one and only Colin Cowherd is bold, unique, and outspoken. Wow. You can see him on the Herd, weekdays at noon Eastern on FS1 in the Fox Sports app.
You bet on the fight in Rocky 3 and then you bet against Rocky?
F&A, Cotton, F&A.
It is F&A on FSR. And, with the iHeart app, you can stream us wherever you are. Catch us and all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 in the new and improved iHeart app. Just search Fox Sports Radio in the app to stream us live all day, every day, and be sure to select Fox Sports Radio as one of your presets in the iHeart app so it always pops up at the top of your screen. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio in the iHeart app.
Coming up, we'll explain why Patrick Mahomes could be going the way of Aaron Rodgers. He's the next Aaron Rodgers.
So he's doing ayahuasca in the middle of the woods and sleeping in a dark box for about 2 straight weeks.
Darkness retreats?
Yeah.
If that was my wife, I do. No, I'm kidding. That's terrible. It was right in front of me. She's a lovely lady. They're a lovely couple.
You're talking about Aaron Rodgers' wife, right? Because no one knows what she looks like. So
that's what I meant.
So yeah, so like Aaron Rodgers' wife, for all intents and purposes, she might as well be twins with Manti Te'o's ex, girlfriend. So,
I don't know how you get all the way to marrying someone through catfishing. At some point,
well, she just
you
doesn't
gotta
like
actually meet him, right?
She doesn't like being in the public eye. That's what it is, Adam.
Gets a mail order.
So so much not being in the public eye, like no team functions, no teammates seen her, no none of the wives and girlfriends have seen her.
Would it surprise you if Aaron Rodgers, when he retires after this season, goes, "Oh yeah, I was just tired of the media going after my significant other, so I just made that story up"?
Will not surprise me one bit.
I can see him doing
Not
it.
in the least bit.
It's
That
all
would be very
BS.
much on brand.
I wish you weren't a liar.
Whatever, do what you want. It's his personal life.
Yeah. So we'll get to that comparison coming up here in a little bit. But the big news to start the week was Brendan Sorsby, and this is something that's been circulating for the past month and a half.
I don't know why I'm Sorsby about it. I got a Sorsby spot.
You're not the only person. I feel like the only people who don't have a sore spot about it and are saying what's the big deal are the Texas Tech people.
Or Calci.
Yeah, he granted the injunction earlier this week, allowing him to play this season despite committing the cardinal sin, gambling on his own team. Now, the cold part is it's not even about the gambling on his own team, Adam. Gambling in general is prohibited for NCAA athletes. You can't bet on anything. There was a ruling that was supposed to be passed later this year, I think for the fall semester, that was going to allow college athletes to bet on professional sports, but that got shot down. So the conferences all shot that down. So it was a measure that was potentially going to be voted on, and they shot it down immediately. So as a collegiate athlete, not only can you not bet on your own team, obviously, you can't bet on anything. So he violated a couple of rules on that.
We're talking about not just betting. This was flagrant, egregious 40 bets involving Indiana football when he was a freshman with the Hoosiers in 2022.
And those were just the bets he bet on Indiana. That doesn't count all the other stuff he was betting on. And recruiting people out of state to make bets on his behalf because he was a minor at the time, which is against the law, let alone against NCAA rules.
There's so many things wrong here. And it feels like Texas Tech is taking advantage of the wild, wild west situation in college sports right now, where you don't know who's in control. NCAA is toothless. Who's going to do anything? They were expanding the super conferences. The rules are changing all the time.
Well, what it is,
everything's up in the air.
Let's say everybody's getting litigious over everything because the NCAA is on a historic losing streak when it comes to the courts, when it comes to NIL, eligibility, a bunch of different cases that they have lost. And this is just another one. I think it was Tyrann Mathieu who sent out a tweet on Monday after this news broke. And he was like, you know what? I think I have 2 years of eligibility left at LSU. Why don't I just go back to LSU? And if the NCAA tries to stop me, I'll just take him to court and I'll win.
No, I'd actually like to see that.
Of course you would.
That interests me.
And he's half joking, but it's like the way these things have gone, you find the right court, the right judge, and the right district with the right. I'm not saying that he was paid off or that he's compromised in his interest at all, but you can find someone to twist the law or twist their interpretation of it in whatever direction that you want to get a favorable outcome if you wanted to.
Yeah, lawyer up. You got the right people on your side, and you can wiggle your way out of these things. But I don't like how cold and callous this is. And it's not like we haven't known that. We talked about money playing earlier with De'Aaron Fox. Talent plays, talent above everything else.
Right.
There have been sports players. Leonard Little comes to mind.
Killed somebody.
Who
DUI crash.
And then got another DUI.
Right.
Didn't stop him
learn
from
his
getting
lesson.
another one. It doesn't matter as long as the bottom line is they help you win. Winning above everything else.
You win.
But it still sickens me sometimes. It's because who probably has a real gambling addiction. Is he getting the necessary help that he needs? Are you putting the person in front of the football
You
player?
are. This is therapy for him.
Oh, is it?
He will be do unquestionable damage and harm if he's not able to be around his teammates and be on the football field and help try to win games that he may or may not be betting on. Now, granted, and look, I don't want to poke fun at it. Addiction obviously is a huge issue. I don't deny that he has an addiction, but I would say, like, I don't know if this is the best way to foster him away from it.
This is the point.
He can keep his scholarship. Maybe you could find a way to keep him around the football program in some capacity or the athletic department. There are ways to help him outside of letting someone who egregiously broke an NCAA rule to continue to be able to compete. Look, if this was not Brendan Sorsby, you know, who you paid a crap ton of money in NIL to transfer in to help put you over the hump as a playoff team, and this was a third stringer, we wouldn't be having this conversation.
No.
He'd be kicked off for the team, and you wouldn't think twice about it.
They wouldn't do that meeting with the Texas Tech leadership,
Oh,
brain trust,
The 20-minute video, which was a joke,
to
Get
justify
outta here.
why this is happening, to act like they're above reproach, and there are good reasons for this. And I just, it's all a sham. It's just so, I don't know. It's so blatant with the way they're doing
the
this.
grandstanding is just ridiculous. And the idea, like, well, he has an addiction. If someone has an addiction, he can't be denied the ability to work. And I was like, in some situations, no, yes. But in a situation like this, and it's like, I heard a good analogy that was used this week, and I thought it was great. Someone was like, a commercial truck driver gets a DUI while driving a semi, loses his privilege to have a commercial license. You understand that when you sign up for the job. So you might be an alcoholic, and that might have caused you to drive drunk in a semi truck. But based on that fact, you can no longer have that job anymore. So we can get you the help that you need, but you can't work here.
Yeah.
You bet on games as an NCAA athlete. And on top of that, you bet on games for this team that you played for. You knew the rule when you signed up. I'm sorry you have an addiction, but you can't work here anymore. And by the way, sorry, I'm not to cut you off. You started gambling before you had a gambling addiction. It has to start somewhere. So you knew it was wrong when you started from day one. So even if you didn't have have the addiction, the fact that you bet against the rules automatically disqualifies you.
Habitual gambling line stepper. Like,
It's just such a cut and dry, easy situation for me.
Even if it was 4 or 5 times, I could understand it more. 40 bets?
Yeah.
What are we talking about here?
And you're telling me
There's a problem. Address it.
40 bets on your team. The argument, oh, he didn't travel with the team. He was a scout team. He still knows all the players. He knows practices. He knows who's
Injury
hurt.
reports.
He knows who's hurting, who's not. You know, he knows the game plan, who's going to get more touches in a certain game.
Yes.
Like, all that's what are we doing here? I wasn't born yesterday. This is ridiculous.
I was born at night, but not last night.
Exactly.
Like, it's shameful, and it's
embarrassing is what it is.
First of all, I don't put a lot into colleges in general. The older you get and the more you get away from universities, I feel most people become disillusioned and jaded, and then you have student loans and you realize it's a business just like everything else out there.
Well, that's the higher education part in general. From the sports standpoint is different. But
Sure.
yes.
But it all kind of bleeds into this.
They're money-making machines as opposed to like institutions of higher learning.
Yes,
I understand
there's no
that.
higher education going on. That's not what any of this is about. It's big business, it's sports, it's ego, and it's jobs on the line. I understand that's part of it. These guys that are making their case for Texas Tech with the leadership group.
Yeah. And by the way, Cody Campbell, who's like their big booster guy, and he's friends with the White House, and he's trying to get some legislation passed, which I'm not totally against. And I used to be against Congress getting involved in this, but when we start seeing the legal system bastardized and taken advantage of for this situation, I actually think that there actually should be some sort of congressional oversight. But for Cody Campbell, the big time booster that has turned Texas Tech into a powerhouse with girls softball and putting all this money into the football program, basically saying like they hate us because they ain't us and they're jealous of us. Like, Cody, with all due respect, and this is no disrespect to anybody in Lubbock, Texas, or the institution of Texas Tech, nobody's jealous of Texas Tech's athletic department.
Yeah.
UT, I don't think so. Even Baylor, no. University of Houston, who does well in athletics, nobody's jealous of you. This is not a witch hunt where people are out and trying to get you. You're trying to take advantage of the legal system to get a guy that you paid a crap ton of money in NIL to try to help you win. That's what this is.
I think what's bothering me with this situation is we're just going from one extreme to the other. The extreme initially was the NCAA's overreach and how much money they were keeping away from players. And they were servants of them. Like that's basically what was happening at times. Like it's ridiculous. The money got so big, players weren't getting a piece of it.
It's basically free labor.
And some of the obvious penalties that were handed down, going back to USC or other death penalties, SMU, they look ridiculous.
Shabazz Napier, like getting, for getting sandwiches or whatever it was. Like
a lot of this stuff looks foolish in hindsight. But this in real time, now it's swung the pendulum the other way so far, where it's just this rudderless entity, NCAA, college sports, who's in control, and it just feels like a complete joke. Like it's changing so quickly, so fast, in so many different ways. And then you have situations like this that just slip through the cracks where people aren't being penalized when they should be now.
Right.
People aren't being at least held responsible or getting the necessary help that should, the humanity side of this should be at the forefront. It's not. It looks nasty in a different way, but it's, it's very similar, but a different type of extreme that we're dealing with in college sports. Therefore, nothing really has changed.
Yeah.
And I was hoping that things were getting better, and then situations like this come along.
There's a thought out there that maybe eventually Texas Tech will they're taking such a giant PR hit that, and there's
he's out the first two games. What do you mean, Kevin?
Yes, against the juggernaut.
How are they going to beat Oregon State?
Oregon State, yes, exactly, of the new Pac-12, and Tarleton State or whoever the hell they opened up against. I think it's Abilene. I think it's Abilene Christian they opened up against, but still, it's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And by the way, people who try to say, oh well, Sorsby can just go to the NFL. I don't know. I heard Todd Monken last week, who needs a quarterback with the Cleveland Browns at this point in time. Someone asked him, like, hey, supplemental draft, would you take him? And he was like, considering the things that he did, I don't know if I can necessarily trust somebody that has that track record. Like, I don't know if I can trust somebody that has a history of gambling on sports. That is a cardinal sin in any sport that you participate in. So I don't know if that's somebody that we would touch. That's an NFL play, a guy who has NFL talent, by the way, and Brendan Sorsby, very talented. Some people think he has a first-round talent. But this is just a really hard stink to be able to wash off.
Yeah, maybe if there was more time or, there was more to this character issue that maybe they know about and we don't. Because I don't like to typically hold things against young people and always
mistakes.
have young people making mistakes. I try to give them the benefit of the doubt because I remember how it was, and I made plenty of them.
Yeah, same.
This, though, is just, it's tough to overcome when you're dealing with sports and gambling because it's not a temptation that's exactly going to go away.
It's only going to get worse. But you're basically telling them that, we'll get you help, but it was okay because there were no consequences attached to it, other than the fact that you won't be able to pad your stats against Abilene Christian on opening day.
Well, and it's all happening at a time where sports gambling has become gamified. Mm-hmm. And I don't think that's necessarily good for us. I just don't know if there's any going back.
No, there's so much money.
Once so many of these leagues that talked about, we couldn't have a team in Vegas forever. Once they realized how much they could make, as you mentioned there, it was over. You opened up Pandora's box. There is no going back with this stuff. So people who are susceptible to this are going to have more of these temptations thrown at them. It's going to be more difficult to avoid circumstances like this. It's just, I don't know. It's a sad state of things. Maybe he'll be fine and there will be nothing else that comes of this and we'll look like fools for worrying about it. But there's probably some other guy that now is feeling like he's off the hook if he ever gets caught for what he was up to, because there's nothing they're going to do about it.
Speaking of guys who got paid, somebody got broke off earlier this week, one of the all-time greats, but is that the best thing for him and his organization moving forward? We'll talk about that coming up next. F&A on FSR.
We talk, and you love to listen.
Awesome. Love hearing you guys. Full of laughs, man. Love it.
Now you can look. Look at that. Look at him.
Yo, what's up? I'm Kelvin.
Look at them.
Tom Brady is the man.
Don't turn away.
Take a closer look.
Fox Sports Radio. YouTube. Look.
It's
He
here.
dropped
King of
now,
the
and
Hill,
now it's just Andrew and
WD-40
Baker.
brand present
Yeah.
the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40
Are you gonna go to him
collector's
here or
can.
at the top of the hour?
Available now exclusively at
Okay,
the Home
got it.
Depot, in store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 collector's can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time while supplies last. Availability varies by location and
My
online.
name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband Ryan died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
There are some shows you don't want to miss.
This is going to be fun.
And there are some shows you can't miss.
Let's not overreact.
This is Covino and Rich.
World Cup, for those that care, every couple years.
Can I tell you,
It's
I
a
already
big
got
deal.
a sweet jersey. I got my jersey in the mail. Want to know how I got it? My mom bought my baby bro, who's a big oaf. He's 30-something years old, Tommy. She bought him an extra large Mexico soccer jersey, right? And because my mom's family's from Mexico, but, USA all day. She bought him an extra large, and he's such a beefcake that is too tight on him.
Too many taquitos?
He had too many taquitos this past winter. So I said, well, no problem. I'll take it. Because soccer jerseys run a
Wait, hold
little
on.
tight, so I got an extra large.
Do I
Coming my way.
have permission to mock your brother a little bit?
Oh, yeah. He's
Okay.
a double X now. But you know what? Soccer jerseys run snug.
Yeah.
But I got mine in the mail. Super pumped for it. I inherited my brother's brand new jersey he couldn't fit in. And he got the double X. I got the XL. So, look, people are gearing up. People are getting excited. And all these teams are not only figuring out what America's all about, right? All these different nations and their teams. The fans are like, well, where do we go to eat? The teams are like, yo, damn, it's hot here in America. That's the other adjustment that a lot of teams are having to make.
There was one venue where it was pouring rain. Like there's a big buzz about the World Cup here, and in fact,
They're getting acclimated.
Covino, half Italian, half Mexican. My sister,
All American.
my sister married.
Hey, this is Cheech, and this is Chong, and you're listening to Covino and Rich, so listen up.
To get the rest of what Covino and Rich said, podcast it by searching Covino and Rich. And as always, you can hear Covino and Rich weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is the Jason Smith Show.
Check this out.
Pay attention. With Mike Harmon.
The Chiefs are adding 2 years to Patrick Mahomes' contract. He is now tied to Kansas City through 2033 at an overall value of $504 million. What they are doing is they're paying Mahomes for what he has done for the team and not what he is going to do for the team. Patrick Mahomes has not been great in 3 years. His last great year was 2022, okay? But he has not thrown for 30 touchdowns in a season since 2022, right? And he's coming off the injury here. Not that I don't think he's going to come back healthy. That's not, look, he's coming, look, he's already on the field at OTAs, right? I mean, this is fantastic. But this has been a Patrick Mahomes now whose regular seasons have been good. He's not been great.
You're listening to Jason Smith with Mike Harmon. Weeknights at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington.
Caleb Williams, his big arm, all those game winners, and the nail polish, he may actually be the most talented right now. Like, I'm not even mad at that if someone said he's the most talented. But I don't think that means the best quite yet. And sometimes you can see it coming, right? Like if you see Cooper Flagg, couple back-to-back games of 50, you're like, okay, we see what's coming. We see he's going to be one of those ones in the league for the next 10, 12 years. You see that. And to me, that's Caleb Williams right now. Caleb Williams, you saw how special he is when he's locked in. But I also saw plenty of games where he was inaccurate. He had some of the worst statistics when you're talking about completion percentage, when you're talking about third down conversion, when you're talking about off-target passes. He was one of some of the worst in those categories. Some of those times that he had to save the day, he and the team put themselves in a position where you should have had to save the day.
This is The Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. No competition, they want to be just like me. We love it when others say they're #1 rated sports network because we know it's not true.
Boom, boom.
We have the real numbers, huge, robust numbers.
It's huge.
This is a big story, and it's all because of you.
Hey, so far so good. I think you guys do an incredible job.
The real listeners.
I'm just enjoying listening. Thank you guys for the entertainment.
We are.
Yeah.
Fox Sports Radio. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details.
Go! Check them out.
FS1.
Check them out.
FS1.
Groovy.
F&A, Cotton. F&A.
It is F&A on FSR. You know, for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune into Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern. That is 6 to 9 a.m. Pacific. We will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune into Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Coming up next hour, we're talking biggest collapses in sports in light of what happened in Game 4 with a 29-point lead for the San Antonio Spurs that they somehow found a way to lose. We'll take your calls on that. Well, we got a caller right now.
Tom, next caller.
877-99 on Fox. It's Andrew in Bakersfield. Andrew, what's up?
Hey, guys. U.S. men's national team. The horses are loose. Pochettino, let them run. No! You got to cut me off.
Oh, come on. No, you cut yourself off. I was letting you go there. Come on, Andrew. You got to give me something better than that.
I was going to see if you ran out of breath.
Oh.
You know, that was a great effort, though. But yes, you know, it was a fun atmosphere at SoFi Stadium or wherever the hell they're trying to call it with the sponsorships not being allowed at the World Cup. And even outside, one thing I love about the World Cup just in general, and thank you for the call, Andrew. Bree, did you hang up on him? Okay.
How
Sorry.
dare
that was
you,
very
Bree.
abrupt. I wasn't sure.
No, that was him.
I'm not. No, I was just asking. It was just a very abrupt hang up.
Bree was like,
Cut that bitch off. Next caller.
To see people galvanized around their country, despite you know certain issues that you may have, to see a bunch of people from a bunch of different backgrounds rally around their country.
Sports bring us together.
I mean, yes,
it's supposed to.
It's cool to see. Well, I mean,
don't tell Knicks fans that are beating Spurs fans mercilessly.
Well, if those Spurs fans, if they were both wearing Team USA jerseys, then maybe they would have been hit as hard. Maybe just a little slap across the face as opposed to a total penalty.
I'm rooting for the Spurs now.
I understand that sentiment.
You know what
Knicks
else?
fans are very obnoxious.
I'm going to a World Cup game on Monday.
I thought you were saying you're going to Game 5 tonight. I was like, oh, you got a flight to catch here pretty soon.
What the heck? What do you mean?
I'm going to Iran versus who are they playing? Netherlands? No, New Zealand, I think.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Where is it?
My cousins got me these tickets. It's
Nice.
in SoFi.
Okay, excellent.
So I'm going to a World Cup game I've never been. And I'm a total casual, obviously.
USA.
When I hear the USA chant, USA, USA, casual, casual, that's what I hear in my head. I don't deserve to go.
So
I didn't
you're-
buy the tickets.
Okay, so you're not wearing, I guess you're just going to be neutral. You're going to be like the Rob Lowe NFL hat. You're just going to be wearing a FIFA 2026 World Cup hat.
I guess so. I usually go for the underdog. Is that New Zealand in this case?
I would imagine it'd be Iran, but
Isn't Auckland in New Zealand? And some
Yeah.
people think that's my last name, Osland.
Oh, you know what? That's that checks out.
I
That'll
need
make
you to
sense.
get me a hot New Zealand boyfriend. Can you bring me back one of those?
2.
I'll look out.
Yeah.
I'll get right on
Yeah,
it.
you storm
course.
the field and find you a hulking soccer player, and tackle him.
No, I'm gonna find a guy shorter than you, Bree, because New Zealand is where they filmed a lot of the Hobbit situations in Lord of the Rings.
I'm good, thank you.
No,
I'll
no, no.
pass.
I'm gonna get you a
It's
3-footer.
okay. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Well, I thought it wasn't about his height. I thought it was about his heart, Bree.
No. I'm all for whatever you can find.
I'm
it's
sure.
all good.
Yeah, no, except if he's 3 feet tall.
No, it's fine. I'll pass.
You'll put him in your pocket? No.
I'm sending him to Seal Beach or wherever you live.
Ugh,
Oh, did I dox you by saying Seal Beach?
because
Come
they had a tone about it.
Wherever you live, you didn't like that
Yeah,
part?
that was rude.
I can see it.
It's so funny. Okay. Anyways,
Should've just
your
gave me
name-
that.
I never want to see you in Seal Beach ever again. How about that?
Well,
You've
the
lost your
feeling's
Seal Beach
mutual.
privileges.
Where there's seals, there's sharks. So I don't typically like going to those places.
You just don't like.
Minute.
You're like a, I don't know,
Fish out of water?
like a kangaroo or something.
Excuse me?
Like a gremlin. Do you turn like ugly and ferocious when you get wet? Is that what it is?
I actually become more attractive. How dare
No,
you?
is that what it
This is my ugly play. On land is actually the problem for me. I'm a freaking merman when I get into the water.
But yes, Andrew, very encouraging, I think, is an understatement. I mean, we whooped their ass, we as the United States. And when's the last time you say the United States whooped anybody's ass in a World Cup game or match, excuse me?
30.
We deserve to play this.
That's right.
Turquoise. Yes. That was impressive. Honestly, I have not felt like that in a soccer game with us in a long time, at least since 2002, I would say.
Yeah, I have not felt that much pride in country when it comes to soccer as I felt on Friday night.
10.
To maintain itself when they play next weekend, we'll have to see.
Better not have 5 seconds.
Speaking of collapses, we'll talk about that coming up next. F&A on FSR.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
Drew McIntyre here from WWE. Wielding the Claymore can be a life of chaos. When I'm not dominating in the ring, Chumba Casino is how this warrior takes a wee break. With hundreds of online social games and new weekly releases, there's always something fresh to try. And those daily boosts, next level. Even my free time feels like Valhalla. So when life feels like a battle, kick up your feet, have some fun, and let's Chumba.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. See T's and C's. 21 plus. Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
FS1. From first things first in the herd to your sports teams, FS1 has what you need. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details.
Let's begin.
Sometimes we like company. Other times, company is downright annoying. Let's listen to Stu Gatz and Company live, and you tell us where this show lies.
Do you think Aaron Donald is indeed going to come back? And if he does, what will it mean for the Rams?
Listen, if he's 90, 80% of what he was coming back, that's Pro Bowl level. But you just don't know. Listen, we see the workout videos of 150-pound dumbbells, but he was always a workout warrior. But he's been out of the game for a little bit. There's a difference of weightlifting and playing football. Now, that's not to say he couldn't pick it right back up, but there's getting in football shape. There's getting your muscles in football shape, quite honestly. And I don't know if he's training for football or just lifting, because all of a sudden, if you start training on the field, now a calf, a hammy, a quad, could you be looking at a bit of an injury? But the sugar plums dancing in your head of he and Myles Garrett, Donald on the inside, Myles on the outside.
Yes.
Oh my! And plus the rest of that defense that they have.
Right.
Remember that they drafted great young players on that D line and outside backer position. They gave up one, obviously, in Verse, but they have others. It would be, and that's what you look for. In Philly, that's what we had. We had, of course, Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Clyde Timmons, but we had depth. We could roll in 6 or 7 D linemen. Now, we weren't as good as the guys I mentioned, but we were good enough to be able to have a rotation system. And those are usually the best D lines, that you can have kind of a rotating system while the O lineman is playing all 70, 75 plays. D-line.
To hear more from Stu Gatz and Company live, just podcast it by searching Stu Gatz and Company. And as always, you can listen live weekdays 3 Eastern, noon Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
You got to be consistent.
With Colin Cowherd.
I check. The reputation of European players was a little soft. And that stigma isn't true anymore, but it was out there for a long time. And American players, domestic players, will test European players often more than our guys. They'll test them. And European players coming to foreign soil come to this country, and I'm going to give them a little bit of a break here. They really want to establish who they are. So you also have the reality that Wemby's young. He's 22 years old. And there's a lot of 31-year-olds in the league. So he's international. He's young. He's getting all this attention. And the NBA and the veterans, they're testing him. and he is passing that test with flying colors.
This is The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Wow.
Weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Why, hello there.
Two pros and a cup of joe, putting the more in mornings.
I don't even know what that means.
No one knows what it means, but it's provocative. Jonas Knox.
How you doing? I'm Jonas from Champion Roofers. I'm here to check out your leak.
Brady Quinn. LeVar Arrington.
Now that's a teammate right there.
Can you think of a better combination?
I can think whatever I want.
That's what I thought. It's two pros and a cup of joe. Weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. FS1. Live sports and live programming. FS1. Big games. Big takes. To find FS1 on your television, visit foxsports.com for details. And here's what you need to know.
An incredibly impressive opening game to the World Cup for the United States. Friday night in LA, 4-1 was the final over Paraguay. The Americans had never scored 4 goals in a World Cup game ever. 3-0 was the halftime lead on 2 goals from Fuller and Balogun, one in the 31st minute, and Balogun also scored at the end of the first half. Christian Pulisic was subbed out at halftime after being kicked in the calf. The U.S. next game, next Friday, a day game in Seattle against Australia. Canada opened its tournament in Toronto, tying Bosnia-Herzegovina 1-1 with a goal in the 78th minute. Canada had never even tied a game in its World Cup history. It had been 0-6 all time with only 1 total goal until Friday. In the WNBA, Washington edged Toronto 86-85. The College World Series started, victories for North Carolina and West Virginia, and the Brewers shut out the Phillies 6-0. I'm Steve DeSager.
Let's begin, shall we?
FNA.
Let me tell you something.
Kevin Figures.
My entire take here is moved.
Adam Osley.
There's a conversation to be had.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, yeah. They're kicking the weekend off. It's FNA.
Point well taken.
Sound good?
That is so exciting.
Yeah. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studios, here's FNA. Kevin Figures and Adam Osley.
That is right. The final hour of FNA on FSR. Kevin Figures at KFig1 where you can find me, Adam Oslin, at Follow Adam A is where you can find him. At FNA Show on X and at FNA Show on the YouTube page if you'd like to get the video stream of our show tonight.
Yeah, check us out.
This morning.
We're at the studios in Ventura. No. Sherman Oaks. Ventura
on
Boulevard.
Ventura.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
on
a
Ventura,
little confused, Bree. Okay?
I'm a dumbass.
Excuse me.
You want to tell people where we're at?
No, because it's not
What
like
do you
there's a
mean?
giant sign off of the 405 freeway of where Fox Sports Radio is there, Bree. So
Bree,
like,
we kind of advertise it here. What the
It's
hell
like-
what are you talking
Smack
about?
your right-
Sepulveda and Ventura. Come down any day.
Smacks you right in the face.
Yeah, but you
Come
caught that
down any
attention
day.
at 1 o'clock. People are getting out from the bars and be like, let's go visit.
So the good thing is, and our friend Ben Maller will tell you about this, thankfully our studios are no longer on the other wing of the building like they used to be, because there was a giant window where you can just peer inside and see exactly what was happening.
Did he do the...
And people did.
There's something on the wing on
Yeah.
that side of the building. Did you do that routine?
I was doing the show with, and Jonas might not remember this, when I was anchoring and he was doing his show in this very time slot. And a guy came up and just stared right through the window and probably stood there for a good 3.5 minutes. It was myself. It was Iowa Sam. I don't remember who was producing at the time. But yeah, just stood there. Peered in. Hey, what's going on this side? Stared there for about 3.5 minutes and then just walked away.
See, that's okay if it was like the girl from Obsession, that movie that I just saw the other night. That's different. But some weirdo just tracking you, then it's more like Max Cady from Cape Fear.
Okay, yeah, exactly.
Very relevant.
Is that what you want?
Media that I'm talking about right now. A TV show on Apple and a movie that's made more money than the Mandalorian movie somehow.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's true.
It's embarrassing.
A movie that cost like $50,000. No, it wasn't quite the Blair Witch, but less than $1 million, I think.
That was impressive.
Yeah, some
Good on-
YouTubers made it.
Good on them for that. You heard Steve DeSager talk about it in his update at the top of the hour. United States putting a whooping to Paraguay 4-1 in the opening matchup in group play for the World Cup. And we do have a caller, John in Maine, who wants to come on and talk a little bit about the World Cup. John, what's going on?
Hey, good morning.
Morning.
Hi, John.
I just wanted to
Float.
reminded me of a story in when I was in the Army in 2006.
Thank you for your service, by the way.
Thank you very much for saying that. I was in Würzburg, Germany, and they were playing Luxembourg, and it came down to a shootout in the World Cup. And they won. And the next thing I know, I'm line dancing with a bunch of Germans. We looked like the Rockettes with hairy legs. Huh. And the whole city of Würzburg of 600,000 shut down. No matter where you were, you stopped on the road, opened up the trunk. Everybody's popping beers. The whole city shut down. Everybody was on the streets celebrating. It was the most amazing thing I had ever seen. And
well, you're about to see it in the States this year, John. It's happening.
If the city's shut down and people are line dancing, that would be amazing. But it was just, thanks for the memory. It just brought, that's 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. But it was like, it didn't matter who you were or what you were, you celebrated. And people are running down the highway. The highway shut down and everything. Everybody just popped a beer where they were. And it was a great celebration. It was something you just had to see to believe.
That's incredible.
And that was that's just one city. That was Würzburg. So I can't imagine what Berlin and Munich and things like that did, but it was pretty amazing to see.
Well, in Germany, I think has won the second most World Cups. They've won 4 when you include West Germany.
Yeah, they got down to they finished second that year. I forgot who won, but I was even given
Brazil.
Brazil, that's right.
That was a guess. When in doubt,
so that's usually a good guess.
They've had the most wins in the World Cup history, but the last time they won was 2002, I think.
But you brought up a good point, though, John, and we kind of mentioned it a little bit at the end of last hour, just the galvanizing effect that having your country win and what it does for you within communities. People from all different walks of life, different communities coming together for one common cause is really, really cool to see, especially in a world that has been at least seemingly increasingly divided more and more the last couple of years, especially. So
feels like it.
the fact that you were able to witness something like that is really, really cool and really special.
Yeah, I was even given some Irish fans their ribbon. I was saying America's going to the world, and they were like, sit down, have a beer with us, and let's rib each other. And,
not like Knicks fans who are sore winners, it seems like, or at least many of them.
I've become a basketball fan this year. I think the Knicks have a great team. They're just
good
guys. And I even watched a game with Wemby just to see him, and he's pretty incredible. It's been a lot of fun. I work in a hospital, so I don't get to see many of the games, but I keep up with it on the radio and stuff like that. And I watch the highlights and things like that, but it's pretty fun.
Yeah. Well, John, we appreciate it. You're a true patriot, man. Served the country in the Army, and now you're helping people out working in a hospital. So we appreciate the call. Appreciate your support. Have a good weekend.
They win it. They're doing it for you.
Yeah.
I served in the Navy Reserve, Army Reserve, National Guard, and Active Army.
Wait, who do you root for in the Army-Navy game then, John?
Yeah. Must be
I know. I got both sides covered.
You can't lose.
I can't lose. Thanks, guys. Have a good morning.
You too. Appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Beautiful. James calling in from Seattle. James, what's up?
So one corner of the country to the other, from Maine to Seattle.
We're playing in Seattle
next Friday.
Australia. That game's in Seattle.
Yes, it is.
And they love their soccer.
That's true.
Exactly.
The Sounders are amazing.
Yeah.
What's up, James?
Even the Mariners won, and the Seahawks just got their rings. And
are the Mariners 500 yet, there, John?
Oh,
yeah, they're above. But
how's the big pooper going?
Or James,
the big dumper. Sorry.
Big pooper. Well,
I made money.
I was going to say regarding this Myles Garrett trade, have you seen his numbers? I mean, I realize the Rams are, now they're favored, but his numbers when he got his sacks with Cleveland.
Not to cut you off, James, but the Rams were the favorite before they made that trade. Just a heads up.
Yeah, come on.
I know the Seahawks are the defending champions, and they feel slighted. I saw that earlier.
They're still bitching about that 2-point conversion, but we won it, so whatever.
To the victor go the spoils.
Yeah, no one can take that from you. And by the way, I agree with people saying that Seattle's being slept on. They're defending champs, and they're being kind of disrespected a little bit. That's fine. It's talking season, as the old ball coach used to say back in the day, Steve Spurrier. So once we lace them up or whatever you want to call it for football, we get ready for it. The crazy part is the Rams and Seahawks don't even play until like the last couple of weeks of the season.
I hate it.
They played twice in the last 3 weeks, I think.
Yeah. Same with the Steelers and Ravens.
Yeah.
Hey, does Jacoby Brissett want $30 million? Is that what I heard?
He wants as much as he can possibly. He wants starter level money, which if
what has he done
other than start a few games for the Cardinals? He's a solid,
serviceable, yes.
And if you're bringing me in, I'm going to be the unquestioned starter. Then I don't think it's wrong for him to ask for a little bit more. He's probably not going to get it, but he can ask.
Yeah.
Closed mouth done get fed is something I was told back in the day there.
Since he's calling from Seattle, James, we appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, appreciate you listening. Thanks as always.
It reminded me of our next subject because they had a bit of a collapse once in a Super Bowl. Considering they're right there. They're on the 1-inch line. And we're talking collapses in sports here. In the theme, and this theme came about because of what happened in Game 4, obviously, up 29. Were the San Antonio Spurs.
By the way, so I know we're going to get to and talk about some of the collapses, but just to address that one, is there any one that we're going to talk about in this particular segment that trumps that 29-point disaster from earlier this week?
I think yes.
Other
yes.
than because I think there's
Yes.
probably just one that rivals it. Look, the memes went out immediately after the Knicks won. I think the TNT guys, joked about it. Someone tweeted out, "Here's the new logo for the San Antonio Spurs," and it was the Atlanta Falcon logo.
I made a money.
Yes, 28-3 in the Super Bowl probably rivals the 29-point disaster for the San Antonio Spurs.
Was that with how many minutes left in the game? Was it?
There was
it was
late
quarter?
third quarter. It was like a minute and 20 seconds or something left in the third quarter.
17 minutes left in that game.
No.
28-3.
That's hard to do.
Is worse to me than the 29 points given up by San Antonio, that lead, only because we know the NBA now. We know the 3-point shooting. If one team goes ice cold, which they did, the other gets hot like that. Stranger things have happened. I've witnessed a 31-point collapse in a playoff game against teams that are further apart talent-wise than you would have in the NBA Finals. This happened in the first round. It was the 1-8 matchup with the Clippers in Game 2 of 2019 against the Golden State Warriors at Oracle Arena. They came back on a KD Warriors team down 31. That is still the largest overall playoff comeback in NBA history. 29 points for a finals game, 31 for any game.
Yeah.
Like that was as shocking as anything I had seen. That was a miracle.
28-3 in a football game in one quarter. Nothing trumps that.
No,
not a damn thing.
Especially because of all the self-inflicted wounds with play calling.
You always have to.
Was it Robert Alford, the cornerback, who had the ball go right through his hands? Brady threw it right to him. And then the Edelman play on the catch that was tipped. That was an inch from hitting the ground.
Deciding to throw the ball on like 3rd and 6 or something when you were already in field goal range and you were up by 10, I think, at that point or whatever it was.
What bothers me about games like this is you forget some amazing plays from the team that had to collapse. Julio Jones had one of the best catches on the sideline that I have ever seen.
People thought that iced the game.
That
was on that drive where they decided to go for it on 3rd and 6 and got way too aggressive and where they should have been conservative.
They had the holding call there, too, on that drive. It's a cascading effect, a comedy of errors for something like this to happen.
Yeah.
But it also, by the way, they changed the overtime rules since then. Now, they didn't change it for that game, but that game was still sudden death on a touchdown.
Correct.
In OT, and it was, what was his name, White?
One of their running backs, backup running back.
It was White. How could I not?
It ain't easy being
How could I not remember?
Was it James White?
Derek?
I think it was James White.
No, Derek White's the NBA player. I'm
Yeah,
getting
James
confused.
White, I believe.
James White sounds right. As he ended it with a run into the end zone for the Patriots. Nowadays, because they got the ball after the kickoff in OT, you still would get a chance to match. Back then, nobody cared because you give up a 28.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like at that point,
28-3 lead. Nobody's feeling sorry for the Falcons in overtime and that rule going against them.
Yeah, one collapse. This is a hard one, and it wasn't even a playoff game. It was like a random NBA game in December. But I don't even know if you can necessarily call it a collapse or just a phenomenal player just making plays when he needed to. But Tracy McGrady scored 13 points in, what was it, 33 seconds against the San Antonio Spurs. He literally just came down and just chucked up threes for like 6 straight possessions and made all of them.
Yeah.
And the Spurs turnovers, 1 out of 2 at the free throw line. It was one of the most amazing. I remember watching it. It was a nationally televised game on TNT on like a random Thursday night. And it was absolutely insane.
A seasoned championship pedigree Spurs team. They had done it all. They had seen it all. They had been there.
This is
done that.
04, 05. So this is right in the height of Manu, Tony Parker, and Tim Duncan. They were right in the middle of their dominance.
I think it was T-Mac's first season with the Rockets maybe too. So that's a pretty good way to ingratiate yourself with your new squad.
That was just one of those I can't believe what I'm watching type situations.
Well, and now you got to go to Reggie Miller with what he did against the Knicks with the infamous choke sign.
Yep.
And yes, there was a foul on that play for him to get the basketball, but they also had to inbound it or else there was about to be a 5-second violation, and it was chaotic. And he hit back-to-back three-pointers and then also iced it with some free throws after that.
8 points in 9 seconds. You overcame an 8-point deficit in 9 seconds.
This is why we continue to say
it's the Knicks.
If there's a team that could blow a 3-1 series lead now, it's still New York. New York. It's possible. I believe.
Someone said the last time the Knicks had a lead in the NBA Finals was back in the 94 during the OJ chase. Like even when the Knicks were in the spotlight, they weren't in the spotlight. Like
they had the game in picture-in-picture on NBC.
They did,
and the chase on the main screen. That documentary on 30 for 30 on ESPN's 30 for 30 is one of my favorites ever. There's no narration.
Yeah.
They just use all the footage from back then to tell the story.
Yep,
it's beautifully done. Very artistic.
It was. You have another epic collapse that we can talk about?
I'll go about an underrated one here that nobody remembers.
Well, I might. Let's see.
So they remember how it ended. They don't remember how it got to that point. I don't like to bring this up because it went against my team.
Oh.
It happened in 2002 to the Sacramento Kings.
Okay.
Game 4 is known as the shot from Robert Horry and the ball being tipped out after a Kobe miss, a Shaq miss. Vlade Divac tips it out. A lucky shot, as he called it afterwards. Maybe he meant he was fortunate to get the ball, Robert Horry, in that situation.
His exact quote was, last shot, lucky shot. You don't have to have skills or anything. You just kind of throw it, and if it goes in, it goes in.
There's something to
that
that
was his
logic.
exact. He did not throw it. He literally it basically
He caught it in
was
rhythm.
basically it was a pass. Vlade, for all intents and
Catch and shoot
purposes,
three.
passed it. Robert Horry stepped right into it and stroked it like it was but it was not a throw up a lucky shot from half court.
Now, what people don't remember about that game is the Kings were up 20.
Yes, they were.
The
I
Kings
remember
were up
vividly.
big. It might have been 24 points. They were smoking them on their way to going up 3-1 in that series, we thought, as they had taken control. They lost game 1. They come back and win game 2 at home. Game 3, they also
Ran
were
the Lakers.
smoking the Lakers,
Yep.
and they almost, as the kids say, tricked it off.
Yes.
At the end, they had difficulty just closing that game out. They couldn't inbound the basketball. And then it happened again at the end of game 4. And this time it did bite them in the ass.
And there's now only diehards who remember this sort of thing like me would know this, but so the NBA review rules where you can review whether a shot was made before or after the red light. Back then, there was no replay review. And at the end of the half, I think the Lakers were down by either 17 or 18.
Samaki Walker.
And Samaki Walker shoots a 3 and makes it. But replay review, had it been a thing back at that time, would have showed that the ball was in his hands before he
Clearly.
released it. Yeah, it was clear as day. There was
whose
no
nickname was Coattails, given to him by Chris Webber in that series, as there was a lot of trash talk back and forth.
Yeah, well, Samaki was signed to be a starter, and basically by then was out of the rotation. He wasn't even playing much. He was in there getting garbage time.
Yeah.
One that stands out to me was a 1993 NFL wild card. Speaking of epic comebacks, this was even more epic. Now, it didn't happen in one quarter. It all happened in the second half.
Oilers?
But the Houston Oilers against the Buffalo Bills. And you remember Jim Kelly got hurt in that game.
Yes.
So Frank Reich was his backup. And Frank Reich rallies them from a 35-3 deficit to a 38-35 win.
That's
all on the back of a backup quarterback in Frank Reich.
And meanwhile, he's out dueling Warren Moon.
Yes, one of the all-time greats. That is something that's like a Do You Believe in Miracles movie, or I don't know if there's a 30 for 30 just on that game, but there should be.
Yeah, there probably should be.
That was
especially
incredible.
because the Bills don't have a lot of great moments in the
No.
playoffs.
Well, they have great playoff moments. They just don't have a lot of great Super Bowl moments.
It never ended well.
Yeah, at least that's right. Their playoff runs always ended in a pretty disappointing fashion.
I would say, in looking at hockey, I remember this one vividly because I'm a casual Sharks fan.
Okay.
The Sharks blew a 3-0 series lead to the LA Kings, who were a team of destiny, winning their second Stanley Cup. They won in 2012. And the Sharks were known for choking hard.
Yes, they were.
In the playoffs. But this was their masterpiece, a 3-0 series lead. The Sharks had so many good teams during the Joe Thornton era that were great regular season teams and always came up small in the playoffs. But a 3-0 lead loss to the eventual champs in the LA Kings, brutal.
Now, the crazy thing about that run, I believe the Kings were down 3-0 in that series. I believe they were down 3-1 against the Ducks, and they won 7 games against the Blackhawks.
Magical run.
They went. It was one of the most and it was the exact opposite of their first Stanley Cup run, where they made it in barely as the 8th seed
and went buzzsaw
and kicked everybody's ass and basically swept their way through the playoffs. That might be one of the great playoff runs of any sport that I've ever seen, to be an 8th seed and literally dominate your way all the way to a championship. And then they had to fight their asses off tooth and nail every single solitary series until they got to the Stanley Cup final and blew out the Rangers in 2014.
A lot of collapses in sports. And don't worry, Spurs fans, the spotlight will not be taken off you completely.
No.
We will not. This is not to try to make you feel better. We're just one of many teams that have failed epically and the biggest moment ever. But we do want to hear from you guys about this too. Your sports memories, maybe a game that's kind of on the periphery that not many other people remember,
or even
but
a
it
series.
happened to your team, or a series. Like, we don't have to bring up a 3-1 choke job by the Golden State Warriors in 2016. That's too mainstream.
Or the LA Clippers, who've done it a couple of times.
All right, F you, Kevin.
Or the New York Yankees, who blew a 3-0 series lead in the ALCS.
That's right. Let's talk about that. 877-99 on Fox is the phone number. This is F&A on Fox Sports Radio.
Some players are built for these moments.
Wembanyama, rising right wing three. We win!
And some players can't get enough.
Jam a three-pointer for the tie. He got it!
It's the NBA Finals.
Man, I feel just like a rock star.
Your finals moments start here on Fox Sports Radio.
Professional wrestling fans, the action continues every week. Watch TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC.
It is like electricity flowing through your veins.
Don't miss the adrenaline, the drama, and the total non-stop action.
No one can ever be as good as this right here.
Don't miss the action of TNA Thursday Night Impact every week on AMC. For showtimes and more information, visit TNAWrestling.com.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. The rush of racing? Nothing beats it. But Chumba Casino comes close. Chumba's got fast spins, fun games, daily bonuses, and all the action you can handle. Now that's a ride. Ready to hit the throttle? Get in the driver's seat and head to ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
So Ryan and I came to the decision to get life insurance when I was pregnant with our first son. He really wanted us to be taken care of if something happened to him. He provided for our family in life and also after his death. I think that would make him proud. Ethos makes it fast and easy to get life insurance. Apply in minutes and get same day coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can today before they're gone. Watch the new season of the Hulu original King of the Hill on July 20th. Streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply. Available nationwide for a limited time while supplies last. Availability varies by location and online.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
He's Steve Covino.
Kick it!
He's Rich Davis.
I thought of like the worst idea possible.
It's Covino and Rich.
We are in a serious situation here.
They're dropping knowledge.
Everything about it is stupid.
And names.
We did an interview with Jay-Z, and Covino's like, yo, quick pick. And Jay's like, no. He's like, nah.
What up, Covino and Rich?
It's Covino and Rich.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
Weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, here's a little something that you missed from the Ben Maller Show.
We have avoided it long enough. We learned that Mahomes and the Chiefs have agreed to a reworked contract, ties him to the team through 2033. The total value of said contract now, $504 million, the first NFL contract to exceed $500 million. Yeah, Mahomes gets $239 million in new money, allegedly, adds 2 years on the previous deal, and so we can go through all the numbers if you want. That's pretty boring. Mahomes, starting in 2027, Mahomes will average $64 million per year. Yeah, that's right in my tax bracket. Close. No, it is not. Apparently not. That'll be a new NFL record starting in 2027 until somebody else zooms past him. So that is a good jumping off point. Let us discuss the question. What message are the Chiefs sending? This one is rather simple. Kansas City is shooting off a text message to everyone else in the NFL. And it reads, "We ain't going anywhere, you bozos." And not just Bozo, the district attorney, you bozos. For anyone hoping for a downfall, the heartbeat is still there. That's what this is. The fat lady has not sung yet. The party's not over. And the Chiefs are already reloading the confetti cannons, getting those ready. And to the rest of the NFL, this franchise, the Chiefs are like, hey, we're cockroaches. We're the ultimate cockroaches, and we refuse to die.
To get the rest of what Big Ben said, podcast it by searching The Ben Maller Show. And as always, you can hear The Ben Maller Show weekdays from 2 a.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio.
3, 2, 1.
It's Stu Gotts.
Yes.
And he Gotts Company.
I love that.
Stu Gotts and Company. Live.
That's what he's doing. Unapologetic.
And they're blending sports.
Listen, kicking's an individual sport.
With whatever they want.
I once went to 11 consecutive Dead shows at Madison Square Garden.
Sometimes I like to talk.
It's Stu Gotts and Company live. Listen weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern, 12 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. Do you know what sets us apart from the rest? It's our ability to talk the talk.
Back to what I'm saying.
And being able to walk the walk.
If you want knowledge, listen to Fox Sports Radio.
We have the shows.
You can't be weak. You can't be soft and weak.
We have the talent.
Ta-da! Over the top, in your face.
We're just plain better than the rest.
It's about the consistency.
We're Fox Sports Radio. And we have the premier sports lineup in the business. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
You're a huge embarrassing failure.
F&A, Cotton. F&A.
We're talking sports failures, collapses to be specific here. It's F&A on Fox Sports Radio. I'm Adam Oslin. He's Kevin Figures, 877-99 on Fox. Remember, if you missed any of today's show, you'll want to catch the podcast. Just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get your podcasts. Right after the show, today's podcast will be posted. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate it 5 stars, and you can even provide a review. Again, just search Fox Sports Radio wherever you get that podcast. Follow the feed, and you'll find today's full show posted right after we get off the air in about 30 minutes.
All right, 877-99 on Fox is the telephone number if you want to chime in on our discussion of best or biggest collapses in sports history. We talked about a couple last segment. Obviously, this in the spirit of the San Antonio Spurs blowing that 29-point lead to the New York Knicks earlier this week.
Make sure we get that out there. We're not letting them off the hook. We're not distracting from that by talking about all these other huge embarrassing failures.
I feel like they are the epicenter, and all the ripples coming out are all the other collapses that we're discussing here. Let's go to Alabama. Chance, welcome to Fox Sports Radio.
They ever have a collapse in Alabama against Auburn? I don't know.
Yeah, you remember that kick 6 game, but that's not what I was calling about.
The kick 6 game, the Cam Newton year when they were up big at halftime and Cam came back and led them all the way back to a win.
Yeah, but I mean, that's Cam Newton, maybe the greatest college quarterback all time. I wouldn't really consider that a collapse because of how great he was, but definitely kick 6. I mean, 1 second left, but I'm calling about the Bills, man. I grew up in Western New York. Father's from here, mother's from up there, so I'm a huge Bills fan. So I'm going to go 1991, Forrest losing 4 straight. That's an epic collapse. But I think it was 91. Wide right. Norwood misses wide right.
It's a 48-yarder. It's not a gimme.
Well, today it would be.
Gimme, but yeah, today it would be, man. But he's money all regular season, and he misses the most important kick of his life. It just sucked. That was our best chance of winning one. Those Dallas teams, I don't think anyone was touching them. They were just unbelievable. But epic collapse, losing 4 in a row and wide right.
Yeah, I mean, the wide right was tough, and I appreciate the call. I guess I couldn't say that it was a collapse in that you were playing against a pretty dominant Giants defense. I mean, that defensive game plan by Bill Belichick is in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
They won 2 Super Bowls.
Grounded one of the best offenses in the NFL, an offense that nobody had ever seen up to that point. So credit to Belichick and Parcells for that. Yes, 48 yards was not a chip shot, but it's kind of, nor would have been so good. It's kind of in the same vein as Gary Anderson, who was, unblemished. Now his wasn't a chip shot either. I think it was 40 yards or so.
I think it was short.
But it wasn't like 22 yards. It wasn't a chip shot.
You're right. But he didn't miss all season long, and he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, Scott Norwood was one of the better kickers of his generation. Was it a given? No, but I think also it stings more because of what he said, the way that was the first of their Super Bowl losses. Had you gotten one and gotten your ass kicked in all the other ones, you would have been like, well, at least we snagged that one. That's what makes it even more painful.
It reminded me of another kick and a different collapse. And we'll get back to your phone calls here, 877-99 on Fox.
We got you, John and Bubba.
This involves Bree's team.
It's so funny. Okay, anyway.
Which one?
Now, she probably doesn't remember this because she jumped on later on. But I'm thinking of, there's almost 2 collapses by each team in this game. The Jacksonville Jaguars are up 20-13 on the Saints. I think this is 06, 07, somewhere in there. Jack Del Rio is still the head coach of the Jaguars before he eventually gets
You're out.
07.
Before or after he chopped off somebody's foot?
They're kicking off. It was in that era.
Yeah. Okay.
We got to chop away as a metaphor. They kick off with no time remaining to the Saints. And the Saints have multiple laterals. I think Dante Stallworth is involved.
There was like 8 laterals. It was an insane amount.
man is on the field, basically. And they get into the end zone. And all they have to do is kick the extra point to tie it to go into overtime after the craziest lateral play you'll ever see.
And this is the old school extra point where it was basically a given.
And John Carney missed the extra point. You remember John Carney, Bree? She's watching it now like, I don't know this Saints team.
We were field goal range.
Extra point range.
2003.
2003?
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, man.
Was that long ago?
Yeah, and Aaron Brooks was the quarterback.
23 years ago.
Yeah, I was not.
That is a collapse. First of all, by the Jaguars for letting that happen.
Yeah.
And then by the Saints where they just needed the extra point there. Good job by everybody all around.
I thought you were going to say something a little bit more modern with Bree's team, like blowing a 2-0 lead in the NBA Finals with the Phoenix Suns against the Milwaukee Bucks. But
see, I thought you were about to talk about Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
and what happened
Sure.
against the Saints.
There's that too.
Oh my God.
That was going to be next up in the queue for me when it came to
I
Bree.
don't know if that's so hard to say a collapse though. That's just
What?
like a last second heartbreak. That's just devastating. A collapse is like,
It's a play that should never happen. The game should be
yes,
over.
I know. I passed out after. It's just NyQuil was my best friend. But it's just the principle of like, I don't know. It's not like the Saints were up by like 20 and then the Vikings like slowly crept back. You know what I mean?
Were you actually sick, or you just were like, I don't have any alcohol and I can't think about this any longer?
Literally,
I was going to say that.
Literally, that's exactly what happened.
Oh my God.
Literally, like I literally just downed NyQuil. I couldn't. And it was still light outside. I turned off my TV.
I got a blackout. What do we have in the house?
Like 5:15, probably like 4:30, 5:15, and I couldn't be. I couldn't be alive.
You're like Wolverine from Deadpool. Wolverine drinking, rubbing alcohol. It's like, has it gotten that bad?
Yeah.
All right. John in Pennsylvania. John, what's going on, man?
Hey guys, good morning. How you doing?
Doing well.
Hey, going back to 1951, I told Bree about this National League pennant race. The Brooklyn Dodgers, had like a 12-game lead over the Cardinals in the whole National League. They blow that lead. They go to a 3-game playoff with the New York Giants, and then goes to Game 3. They need one more out, and Bobby Thompson hits the home run shot heard around the world off of Ralph Branca.
That's an all-timer. As a Giants fan, that's one. Even though I obviously wasn't alive when it happened.
Neither was I.
But you feel
It's
like
history.
Well, in history of the Giant-Dodger matchup, obviously one of the great rivalries in sports.
Yeah. But unfortunately, that reminded me of something very painful.
Oh, here we go. I know this
What
one.
year was that one?
1951.
You said.
All right. In 1993, the Giants had a big division lead, and this was before they reconfigured things. So Atlanta was still in the NL West. Dodgers are obviously there, and they blow the lead. They still won 103 games that year, but the last game of the regular season, the Giants are playing the Dodgers, who had nothing to play for at all. And they lost that game, I think, 11-1. They needed to win that game to go into a tiebreaker playoff with Atlanta to see who would win the division. And that was a stacked Giants team. It might have been Barry Bonds' first year with them. And they still had Will Clark and Matt Williams. They were loaded. They won 103 games, and they didn't make the effing playoffs, and they lost in humiliating fashion the last game of the season to the Dodgers. And I remember crying on the couch.
Painful.
Yeah.
So did you down a bottle of NyQuil too? I guess it would have been children's NyQuil for you back then, Adam, is what it was.
Robitussin?
Yeah, exactly. All right, John, thanks for the call, man. Appreciate it. Let's go to Bubba in Ontario. Now, is this Ontario, Canada, or IE, Ontario?
IE, Ontario.
Okay. All right, let's go. What do we got, Bubba?
Hey, gentlemen. So I have, speaking of the World Cup, Gareth Southgate missing the penalty kick in the UEFA Euros in '96, and my Packers losing to Seattle with the onside kick.
Yeah, that was brutal. We've talked about that. When we talked about Aaron Rodgers' career and missing
yeah,
rings, well, that was one that we brought up a few weeks ago.
2014?
Yes.
Yes, and then I know we're talking about heartbreaks and whatnot, but let's talk about Rocktober. Give the Rockies some credit. They won 21 out of the last 22 games to sweep everybody, go to the World Series, and
that gets swept, right?
Yeah, they got swept, exactly. Yes, by the Red Sox, I believe.
Yeah, 07?
Yes.
That was still a hell of a run, though.
It was.
That was.
They got in through. Did they beat San Diego in a
It was
tiebreaker for the division?
I think it was, yeah.
On a
It was a
game-winning
game
hit
once-
against Trevor Hoffman.
Yep.
The Hoff.
I think Matt Holliday scored the game-winning run in that game.
Ooh, Matt
Smashing his
Holliday.
head on the plate.
That's right, because there was like a controversial call at the end of that game. That's right, 100%. That was epic. That was cool.
That's a good memory.
That was great to see.
For some.
Yeah. Thanks, Bubba. Appreciate it, man.
We got somebody else here?
I think that's all we have on the line. But one that I did want to bring up, and we talked about the Warriors blowing that 3-1 series lead, but one people might forget. You remember 2011? Dirk Nowitzki wins the MVP. The Dallas Mavericks win 60 games. They're the 1 seed. They won 62 games. They were the 1 seed in the Western
07.
Conference, and they got destroyed by the We Believe Warriors. That was Baron Davis, who came out of nowhere as an 8 seed, Steven Jackson. And I think they won that series in 5 games as an 8 seed.
Dallas ended up with a game at the end of that season.
What did I say? 2011? Yeah, it was 2007. Excuse me.
Where, the We Believe Warriors, where they eventually lost to Utah, but the famous dunk with Baron Davis on Andre Karolinko. But I think Dallas threw a game at the end of that year to keep the Clippers out of the playoffs because they were choosing to play Golden State in the first round.
That is true.
Which came back to haunt their ass. I got Rangers 2011 against St. Louis, the Cardinals. This is an all-timer to me because they weren't 1 out away. They were a strike away twice in that game 6. And Nelson Cruz misplayed that ball in right field off a David Freese hit.
Yep.
That ended up forcing the game 7. They lose. So they lost to the Giants in the World Series the year before. They get back and they blow it in a situation like that to close things out. That's an all-timer to me.
Obviously the Steve Bartman game in 2003.
Yeah, the Cubs probably have a few.
Yeah, and I know Bartman wears it a lot for that, but I mean, Alex Gonzalez booted an easy routine ground ball at shortstop for an error. So it wasn't just all Steve Bartman, but he ends up wearing the brunt of that.
There's a great scene in the Bears season 2 talking about that play by Alex Gonzalez that we remember as sports fans, but most think of Steve Bartman, but it was about Alex Gonzalez.
That was
more
huge.
so than anything. You know what? I don't know if this is a collapse. You tell me. How would you rank what happened to Brazil in 2014 against Germany when they're hosting the World Cup and lost 7-1? We didn't have Neymar. Neymar's not scoring 6 goals. Okay. I know he was out with the ankle injury, but they got blasted at home. I think they were the favorites to win that year, and they got destroyed. And Germany won.
I mean, it's hard to call it. I mean, it's definitely shocking, but if they were up 7-1 and lost 8-7, I think you can call that a collapse.
Okay.
But you get blitzed early on and you get shell shocked. I wasn't expecting it to happen. I think I might rule that one a little bit differently. Who do we have on line there, Bree?
Anthony in Denver.
Anthony, what's going on?
Well, fellas, I just getting out of work and I caught you guys with this collapse kind of thing. And the one that comes to mind for me is and I think it was 96 when the Broncos are playing Jacksonville, and Michael Dean Perry doesn't come off the field quick enough, so there's a penalty, and Jacksonville keeps the ball, and they kill the clock on us. And I think that would have given Denver maybe a possible 3-peat because they were just loaded, and they go on to win the next 2 following years and get the back-to-back. But I think that could have put a 3-peat together.
That was one of the biggest playoff upsets that doesn't get talked about ever. I think odds makers wise, yes, Denver was absolutely stacked. They might have gone 15-1 that year.
Were the Jags, was that their expansion year or their second year?
It was their second year.
Okay, yeah.
Just like them and Carolina both got to their championship. Burnell, Jimmy Smith, Keenan McCardell.
It was the running back, Fred Taylor.
Natron Means.
Or was Fred Taylor may not have been there yet, actually.
I think it was Natron still coming over from the Chargers. That's an underrated complete collapse. Yes.
Good call on that one.
He goes home crying, and then they put the 2 on back to back. So it was I was thinking that was one of collapses, and I was listening to the guy from talking from wherever he's from about the Rockies. That was amazing. My wife was at that San Diego game.
Oh, and it was Trevor Hoffman that blew the save, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It went in. I want to say went 14 innings also.
Sounds right.
Yeah.
Epic.
Couple of heartbreakers there. But like you said, you recovered and got you a couple of Super Bowls out of it to send John Elway out on the right way. So you got that at least.
It worked out.
Yeah.
He rode off into the sunset, my man.
All right. Thanks a lot. Have a good rest of the weekend.
Coming up next,
the return.
This could be a collapse. Breeze 3. No, she's got it handled. Breeze in the building. Breeze 3 next to close things out here on FNA on Fox Sports Radio.
When it happens live.
Right now, it's final seconds.
You know we bring the passion.
Here we go. And Connecticut is just upset, dude. Are you kidding me?
We bring the drama.
Oh, he missed ball.
Oh, my goodness.
We bring it to you.
Leaving no theatrical stone unturned here.
We are Fox Sports Radio.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm, A-rated by the Better Business Bureau. Their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $3 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754. 800-627-7754.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Let's go!
You must have been busy, but the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Calvin Washington. We're breaking this down.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Drake May, MVP candidate, gets to the Super Bowl. Sam Darnold wins the Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford, your MVP. Caleb Williams, one of the best, far comebacks, one to set the, tied for the record with that, most comebacks of the season. All these great things, all these great guys. At the end of the day, Patrick Mahomes is still the guy. When I think of just games on the line, need a win, who's going to win this guy? Yeah. Josh Allen is right there, but I have to be fair to the point that he just hasn't been able to get it done, right? And that's what we go. And that's what we took quarterbacks and star players in the NBA. Those are the two guys that we judge you on. Pitchers, your team can stink, Skeens, and you still be you're the best. You can never win a ring in baseball and still be the best. That's just a different sport. If you're a quarterback, right or wrong, it's on you. Who is everybody tired of right now? Lamar Jackson. Josh Allen, your MVPs and you're all that. Got to get over the hump. Matthew Stafford, to his credit, finally got over the hump. Fell short this year and ended up a bad taste in their mouth because I think they feel that Seahawk ring was supposed to be theirs. But with that being said, if you wanted to say Matthew Stafford because he's the current reigning MVP, I'm not mad at that. Joe Burrow is going to be interesting this year to see coming back. He's been injured the last couple of years, be beat up. The team defensively, they've made some moves. So it'll be interesting to see. I got to wait to see. And you look at Patrick Mahomes, 24 touchdowns, I believe it was 11 interceptions. Not a great year on those numbers. We could have seen the rest of the year. We would have seen what the total numbers be. I just think at this current stage.
To get the rest of what the Odd Couple said, podcasted by searching Odd Couple. And as always, you can listen to the Odd Couple with Rob Parker and Kelvin Washington. Weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, right here on Fox Sports Radio. This is Two Pros and a Cup of Joe.
So here it is. Let's talk about Deshaun Watson. I don't know about you, because there's been some reports that he's going to get the opportunity. There's been some others that have come out, conflicting reports about, Sanders has closed the gap and Shador's got an opportunity to win the job. I think Deshaun Watson's going to have a good year. I really do. I think he's finally healthy.
It's possible. I don't know how likely that is. Does he make it to the regular season as the starter? I don't know. And it's interesting because I think it would have taken there being a guy like Shador Sanders to still and have so much popularity with the fan base that they want to see Shador Sanders play.
Two Pros, LeVar Arrington, Brady Quinn, and a Cup of Joe, Jonas Knox. 6 a.m. Eastern, 3 a.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. And now, Steve Covino.
Oh, boy.
Rich Davis. This is Covino and Rich.
Moments and shared experiences where you watch together.
a la American Idol, because it seemed like everybody was watching. And when it comes to mind for me, like America's Funniest Home Videos, I feel like everybody was watching that. Sunday nights, you were watching America's Funniest Home Videos.
Remember the first line of the theme song?
Stories from the friend next door. They never tell. Yeah, like because before TikTok, you were watching all these stupid videos together, having a laugh over some pizza with your family. And then you'd talk about it with your friends the next day or your coworkers or whatever.
Very rarely do we have those moments nowadays, right? We don't live in a monoculture. I would say the last time we were all watching the same thing, maybe even had a watch party with friends, as corny as that sounds, I would say the Game of Thrones finale.
Covino and Rich, weekdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific on Fox Sports Radio. We got what you want.
Your ears are perfect for this.
We got what they want.
Because there's nobody else like them.
We got the goods.
This is no longer a theory. It's a hypothesis. Like we've had it tested multiple times.
Good. All day.
Go look at the numbers.
Bringing it to the entire nation.
All night.
Every damn night.
We got that good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Man, let's ride.
We are Fox Sports Radio. FS1. To find FS1 on your television, go to foxsports.com for details. FS1. Go to foxsports.com for details.
Sometimes people deserve more. F&A, Cotton. F&A.
It is F&A on FSR, and for the best pregame show every weekend, be sure to tune into Fox Sports Radio's Countdown, presented by BetMGM. Every Saturday and Sunday morning from 9 a.m. to noon Eastern, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Pacific, we will count you down to all of the biggest games of the weekend. Tune in to Countdown, presented by BetMGM, every Saturday and Sunday morning, right here on Fox Sports Radio and the iHeart app.
Before we get out of here, Mark.
Not one, not two, but three.
Amazing.
It's sports. It's entertainment. It's good.
We're not worthy.
It's Breeze 3.
I thought you guys were going to say something.
Yeah, Bree,
Here comes an emotional collapse.
Got to dive right in there, Bree.
All right, guys. Okay, so obviously the Knicks and Spurs are in the finals. Every time we go to like see any kind of Knicks game coverage, there's a ton of celebrities. So I started thinking, when you think of like some celebrities and teams, like what kind of like go together is like synonymously, okay? So just to stay on theme, the first one I said was Spike Lee. Like Spike Lee and the Knicks just kind of go together, like peanut butter and jelly. You know
Pretty
what I mean?
good.
Right?
Yep.
It's kind of obvious. In honor of Adam, just because, you know, he's here or whatever, Billy Crystal and the Clippers.
Oh,
okay, sure.
He's like a Clippers fan forever.
Glad you
For
brought
years.
that
I
up.
was going to say
I
a
sat
Sacramento
next to him
King,
at dinner once.
but I don't know a Sacramento King celebrity fan.
There's the Beam.
Carmichael.
Okay, there you go.
The Beam is the celebrity, right? The light.
Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah, sure. Why not? And then my
It ain't Kevin Johnson.
the third one, I had a 2 or 3. I'm gonna go John Bon Jovi and the Patriots because he's always hanging out with Robert Kraft. Have you guys seen him? No.
They go to massage
I thought he
parlors
was
together.
he was really tight with Bill Belichick. I thought they were boys.
Okay, and yeah, well, both of them. And
Sure.
so, well, yeah, but he hangs out with Robert Kraft when he's in the little stand.
I feel like that's the only reason that you did this theme for Breeze 3, just so
To
you
bring
can
in
work
Bon
in Bon
Jovi.
Jovi.
No, that was like the last thing I wrote. I had like 4 other ones.
Whatever. Have a nice day.
You're oh wow, you're so creative.
Mark,
okay,
what-
so
Mark-
funny.
Mark, what do you
Okay,
got?
anyways.
So the ones I thought of was Blake Shelton, Arizona Cardinals.
Whoa.
Oh,
Bradley Cooper, the
Whoa.
Eagles.
Oh, that's so good.
Bradley Cooper, the Eagles is a good one.
And the older actress, Diane Cannon and the Lakers.
Okay, yeah.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. From back in the day, absolutely. Definitely. All right, Adam, what do you have?
I got Rob Lowe in the NFL. You mentioned that earlier.
You'll probably say Rob Lowe that he's out of Dodger games all the time.
You know, he was once on camera for
2.
Nobody cares about nowadays, and I can't believe it. Ric Flair with the Carolina Panthers, baby.
Oh god.
You guys remember that? He was totally in our corner
Loser.
for a week.
And he is a North Carolina guy.
Yeah.
For a week, yeah. Until he was paid by somebody else to give them a motivational speech.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Woo!
yeah, right.
And that check cleared.
Yeah.
And then Drake for the winning team. Whoever the winning
whoever's
team
winning.
is, you know Drake's the celebrity attached to it.
I had my man Ice Cube with the Raiders, obviously synonymous with the Raiders. An interesting one. Ashley Judd
Kentucky.
Anytime Kentucky is playing basketball, specifically in the tournament, Ashley Judd is out there.
I like that one.
Went there and a big time supporter, and not just showing up for the cameras or whatever. She's legitimately a supporter. And then I'm going to keep with the college theme and go with Mr. All right.
Matthew McConaughey, Texas.
University of Texas.
what
He's
is
on
it?
the sideline for, if not all their games, a heavy amount of them.
He has a real title, the minute sure there.
That's right.
Which is pretty amazing.
It is, yeah. Now, what that actually means, my guess is he gives motivational speeches to the team throughout the week or something. I don't know. But it's pretty cool. He's connected to the program. He's not just a guy that's a Johnny-come-lately that shows up in the front row to be seen. He's legitimately part of the heartbeat of that program.
And I feel like he got even more pub after True Detective Season 1, which is one of the greatest seasons of television ever.
I would say so. Yeah.
So just a quick honorable mention, just because Kevin's a fake, well, not a fake Angels fan, but Mike Trout and the Eagles.
30.
Fake, not fake, but you just you're not supporting the team, Kev. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, why wouldn't you support the team, Kevin? What's wrong with you, fake
Mike
ass
Trout
fan?
and the Eagles.
You better
Mike
have a
Trout
good
and the
reason.
Eagles.
Have you seen the product, the trash that they put on out there?
Yes.
That's ridiculous for the last few years.
They're
And I don't
not
want to
gonna go to a
disparage the
game.
players. It's not their fault. But
10.
the terrible situation by a terrible owner. Ridiculous, Bree.
Go to a
5 seconds.
Thank you, Mark. And thank you guys for listening. Project NIL next on Fox Sports Radio.
It's here. King of the Hill and WD-40 brand present the limited edition King of the Hill WD-40 Collector's Can. Available now exclusively at the Home Depot, in-store and online. How many are you grabbing? One for you, one for your dad, and one for every Hank in your life. Get your